Senator Putin in Alaska. And I think it's going to work out very well. And if it doesn't, I'm going to head back home real fast.
I mean, if it doesn't, you walk.
I would walk too.
The full interview airs tonight on Special Report, 6 p.m. Eastern on Fox News Channel. The president also reiterating today decisions on territory are up to Ukraine's President Zelensky, and that he's hoping this meeting leads to a second meeting with him. An hour from now, an emergency hearing in federal court as the D.C. Attorney General challenges the temporary federal takeover of D.C. police.
A full-on power struggle here in the nation's capital. The D.C. government suing the federal government, asking a district court judge to block the federal takeover. Expect this to quickly rise up the judicial ladder. But remember, D.C. is unique in that it's not a state. The lawsuit comes hours after the Attorney General announced, effective immediately, D.C. is no longer a sanctuary city, and the head of the Drug Enforcement Administration is the new interim police commissioner.
Fox's David Spunt. Take two in Texas. Governor Greg Abbott just calling another special session after the first one ended earlier today without a vote on new congressional maps aimed at boosting Republican chances to win more seats. Texas House Democrats left the state to deny the quorum needed to vote. The new session again has multiple agenda items, including redistricting and measures related to recent deadly flooding. America is listening to Fox News.
Some things can steal your sunshine.
Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
August is doing its thing once again as a southerly flow opens up. It's sunny, hot with building humidity this afternoon. You know, it's St. Louis this afternoon, 95 for the high. Tonight, mostly clear, evening temperatures in the 90s, 75 for the low. Saturday, sunny, hot, and humid, 97, 77 Saturday night. Sunday, sunny, hot, and humid, 98. This heat goes right through Tuesday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is proud to support Greater St. Louis Honor Flight. Sign your veteran up for their Honor Flight today at gsl.honorflight.org. And for HVAC services, aircomfortservice.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
Are the territorial swaps on the table? Will you be discussing that?
They'll be discussed, but I've got to let Ukraine make that decision. And I think they'll make a proper decision. But I'm not here to negotiate for Ukraine. I'm here to get them at a table. And I think you have two sides. Look, Vladimir Putin wanted to take all of Ukraine. If I wasn't president, he would right now be taking all of Ukraine. But he's not going to do it.
President Trump on Air Force One today, talking to the press, and I think that there's some key things that have maybe been a little more refined to the public, at least, over the course of this week. And President Trump has been explicitly clear on this. Now, there is a huge meeting taking place in Anchorage, Alaska at 2 o'clock our time, and you better believe that we will be monitoring that and any news that might come out of that. I can't imagine that they're meeting at 2 and that we'll be able to ride along with that. Don't think that's going to happen, but we will certainly have our eyes on it. And of course, there's supposed to be a press conference that happens following that meeting. And President Trump had said, hope it's with both of us. If it's not with both of us, it'll be with me. So you're going to want to keep it right here all day on 97.1 FM Talk as we continue to get developments here. Of course, we have a very strong connection with Fox News, so we will be able to bring you the news here as the St. Louis Fox News radio affiliate in the area. So keep it right here with us. The president has worked hard to put himself in the position to be a mediator, which brings two people together who actually have to do the negotiating. There is no delusion of grandeur being presented to the American people, or the world for that matter, that Donald Trump is going to go in there and shake these two people down and come up with an arrangement that he forces these two parties to agree to. That's not what this is about. And President Trump has been asked this question. He's answered it multiple times, and he's answered it consistently each time. His job is to bring these two individuals to the table so that they can figure out a workable agreement so that the killing stops. That's what Donald Trump says his mission is. He wants to stop the killing. Now, I think it's in the world's interest that the war stops for a whole host of reasons. I'm hearing a lot of comments today about how tough and rough the Russian economy is right now. So if the president... if they have gas and oil in Russia, and that's the nature by which their economy thrives or falls, they're feeling the pressure right now because of the decisions they're making to continue to pursue this war. They have incentive to stop because the economy is suffering. Outside of that, I don't know what Vladimir Putin's going to want out of this, and I don't think anybody else does, but the president will in just a couple hours in Anchorage, Alaska. It's a really big deal. There are people who are out there saying that this could be Donald Trump's tear down this wall moment. I don't know that this is going to be a public moment like that. I don't know that we are going to get a public statement out of Donald Trump that is as iconic as Mr. Gorbachev tear down this wall. But I also think, and we have evidence of this, by way of people who have spoken out on this very issue. Do we have the Hillary Clinton cut on here? Hillary Clinton was on with Jessica Tarloff, and I was watching The Five last night. Jesse Waters was on vacation, so I watched The Five instead. And Jessica Tarloff's on there. I don't love Jessica Tarloff, but I do respect her for showing up to that table every day that she has the opportunity to do. It's not an easy thing to do. And I would also, as a side note, think of how beloved Scott Jennings is in conservative circles when he sits around the table on CNN, on Abby Phillips' show, and does what he does. I don't know that Jessica Tarloff necessarily has that sort of affinity in leftist circles. I don't know that it doesn't look like she gets the credit that Scott Jennings gets from his political party affiliation. That's neither here nor there. But Jessica Tarloff has a podcast called Raging Moderates, and she had Hillary Clinton on there. And Hillary Clinton said on that podcast, and maybe we'll get that clip for you a little bit later in the show because we're certainly going to be talking about this all day. Look, if we could pull that off, if President Trump were the architect of that, I'd nominate him for a Nobel Peace Prize. That's Hillary Clinton talking that way. I think it's a reasonable question. It's one that I have. Other than obvious peace, what does Donald Trump and what do Americans get out of peace being established in Russia and Ukraine? We've shoveled a lot of money into this war to help Ukraine defend itself. Donald Trump seems to understand the political capital in the same capacity that Hillary Clinton understands the political capital that would come from ending this conflict. For Hillary Clinton to say that on Jessica Tarloff's podcast is somewhat impactful to me, that even she's saying that. I just wonder right now, what does Donald Trump want out of this? Because I believe that Donald Trump will do what he thinks he has to do to stand side by side with Putin, to lend Putin some globally visible respect, which is what will help him get out of this ordeal. If he doesn't get everything that he asks for in the swap, if he has to do something so that he can make a deal with Zelensky so that everybody can agree to the terms, he's not going to hang his head in shame and walk away and be like, I made a mistake. That's not going to happen. He's going to need to have some cover provided to him so that he can get out of this. That's just the way it's going to have to be. And I wonder what Donald Trump gets out of this to trade the willingness, the value of Donald Trump, just as he has done with Vladimir Putin this entire time, essentially dignifying him as the president of another country. He is the leader of the largest landmass country on the face of the planet. And Donald Trump has said that he and Putin got along fine. He said the same thing about Kim Jong-un. I heard this today. I don't think I had heard this before. I probably did and didn't register, but I didn't know that North Korea was fighting in this war. Did you know that? That North Koreans, soldiers were moving to fight?
I had heard there were some soldiers being sent, but that's all I knew.
Yeah, that wasn't something that I had registered. I don't know the capacity of it, but Donald Trump has given these, what you could consider to be arch enemies, the dignity of conversation. And so that's something that he has to offer. I just have rolling around in the back of my brain the question if Vladimir Putin has anything to offer the investigation into the Russia collusion hoax.
Well. I would not have thought that, but now that you say it.
I don't know. And it's not like if Vladimir Putin said something, I'd be like, Putin said so. It's not, I mean, I don't know if there's any there, but if he could throw a morsel into the conversation and be like, you might want to check October 15th, 2016, go look at such and such these emails or something like that. If he could provide any context that would blow this thing open, all of a sudden I'm thinking Donald Trump would fly to Alaska for that. Listen, I'm not somebody who thinks that Donald Trump needs that personal thing out of it to understand the magnitude that Hillary Clinton here is agreeing to. It's not anything. I just had the thought. If one of the biggest scandals in American history, it all centers around Putin. How much was Putin laughing in Russia while the Democrats were hysterically throwing his name around in circles to try to sway an election? And it turns out that was a bunch of baloney. And it was Hillary Clinton who was doing it. She was at the top of who was doing it. Do you remember the ridiculous red button reset with Russia?
Mm-hmm.
The stupidest thing ever in foreign policy.
It's like the big Staples button or whatever.
It would have been so funny if when that red button was pushed, somebody's floor would have dropped out. Just anybody. You don't know. It's like Russian roulette. Oh. Didn't do that on purpose.
It's like Clinton roulette.
Ooh. Now we're getting there. I think that gun's fully loaded.
Well, or it was at one time.
I think it's possible. I think if Putin sits down and says to Trump, I'm not doing this, this, and this, and this, but I will do that. I'll do a ceasefire for a land swap. I'll do, whatever it is that he needs. He has to get something. He's not going to just stop. There's going to have to be something out of this that he gets to go back to the Russian people who don't really elect him. So well, there's always a coup waiting around the corner. Just ask Trump.
Yeah. And he's always looking to save face on everything. This has not been, this hasn't gone the way that I think he thought it would.
Right. And it's the best outcome for him right now is that it just never ends. So I don't know. I don't know if there's anything in this deal, in this conversation. I mean, Putin said today the conversation's going to last 6 to 7 hours. Trump said, I'll know in 5 minutes if this is going to be worth my time. And I'm fairly certain that if in those first 5 minutes, Donald Trump is like, you're screwing around and you're wasting my time, he's not going to stay for 6 to 7 hours to beg Vladimir Putin at all.
No, that's the thing. If we know by the end of this show, then that's bad.
Probably.
Because Trump will have walked away quickly.
Not necessarily, though, because I think if they've come together, there have to be conversations that are taking place leading into this. leading into the Putin-Trump discussion. If they're 80% together on a deal and the last 20% has to be figured out by these two guys, and Trump can tell, because what Donald Trump has said, I'd like to have a second meeting. He said he wants to have he said yesterday and this week, repeatedly, he wants to have a quick meeting, a first quick meeting that he hopes leads to a second meeting that will be the productive one, because President Trump has also stated that he's going to talk to Putin, find out what the deal is, find out if he's serious about it, and then he's going to go back to Zelensky, and he's going to go back to the European leaders, discuss, and then I think the idea is that he could come right back and maybe acquire that ceasefire that they were looking for. I think that if we find out during this show, because the meeting starts at 2, I think it's not likely that we get to break the news of peace for all the people in the bi-state region. That would be good for us if we could. I think if we do see the president come out and address the press in our show, then it's either completely done or not anywhere near happening. The long-term conversation is going to be jockeying and discussing and that type of stuff. If what President Trump said this week is true, that he wants to have an initial meeting where he can determine this deal can be done or this deal cannot be done, even if the details aren't completely sorted out.
Did you see the video within the last couple weeks of Putin doing some sort of Russian interview? He's on a stage and there's cameras, and he stops in the middle of it. They're right in the middle of this thing. And he stops and he goes, "Sorry, everybody, I have to leave. Trump's calling me."
No.
And
is it real?
It is real.
You
it was
promise
real.
It's real?
Yeah, it was definitely real, because people were a little surprised that he looked like he was almost big gaming the interview. Like, oh, sorry, I got more important things to do. Donald Trump is on the phone. Like he was dropping his name. So my concern is that Putin plays a lot of these games. Putin wants to feel big all the time.
That's all he does.
That's all he does. And going into this, if all Putin wants to get out of it is that people are talking about Putin, that could happen.
Yeah. Well, and Trump has been very clear on this going in. He's like very aware that he could walk away with nothing, which is always bookended by Joe Biden's war, that is his war that he helped start, and it's Putin and Zelensky's end. And I'm just here trying to bring people together to the table to have that discussion. He has said multiple times as well, if there's a land swap deal, if there is some sort of concession made on each side, that is something that will have to be done by the two people involved in this, which is Putin and Zelensky. And he says, if they want me there, I will be there. But this is up to them to decide. I'm just essentially facilitating the conversation. Gosh, that's what a leader does. Which brings me to my poll question. Who is the best American president ever? And I am limited to 4 options. So I'm going with the 3 that Donald Trump says could be the best president ever. Ryan, you want to read them for us?
Sure. The first one is George Washington.
Mm-hmm.
The second is Abraham Lincoln.
Mm-hmm.
The third one's Donald Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And then the fourth is just
all
anybody
the other
else.
Ones. All the other ones.
And then let us know.
The other 4 of them. Let us know in the YouTube poll what you think about the best president this country has ever had. Vicky, we'll start with her comment here. I chose Lincoln at this point in history anyway. It could change to Trump after this term is over, because Trump's kind of playing in the conversation. A follow-up conversation I would ask you, if you don't vote for Trump, I wonder if you think Donald Trump is in the top 3 presidents ever. So you can let us know what you think about there. You guys want to take phone calls?
On this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who's the best president ever? Washington, Lincoln, Trump, or I don't know. There might be some others in there.
I'll tell you right now, if you call in and say Donald Trump, I may fight you a little bit.
Really?
I may. Depending on how you approach it.
Stay tuned for the 2 o'clock hour. You might see a fight in this studio. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Talk lines are open now at 314-241-9797 or 866-455-9797.
HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com, 314-227-9636. That's 314-227-9636. When you go to the website, HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com, you're going to see that they do a lot of things. But for the folks out there who have concrete that is separated, has become uneven, it doesn't have to just be at home. It might not be your patio deck or your pool deck or your sidewalk. It could be at your business. And you know that it's trouble. You know that you got people, clients, customers coming in and out, and you don't want something bad to happen there on your property. There's a cost-effective solution for this unlevel, uneven, safety hazard concrete. When you call 314-227-9636, that's 314-227-9636, Matt Hayes and the amazing locally owned and operated team at Home Shield Foundation Repair are going to talk to you about polyjacking, explain how it comes with a 5-year warranty, and they'll even come out and check out what your situation is to give you a very specific estimate on what you're going to be looking at. And then you get to choose whether you want to hire them or not. I think you should. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
What's your favorite 4-letter word? Chances are you've said it more than a few times dealing with this crazy world we live in. But at Compass Retirement Solutions, our 4-letter word of choice is hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. And hope that your retirement plans don't take a back seat. You've watched inflation soar, and maybe your retirement future feels a little uncertain right now. But all hope is not lost. Find out exactly how much risk you're still taking with your investments. Find out how you may be able to save big on taxes. And find out how having a written retirement plan just might give you the hope you've been looking for. Call today to set up a meeting. 314-373-1598. That's 314-373-1598. Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services but does not provide tax advice. Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory firm in Missouri and Illinois. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
Smart talk, strong values. This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Welcome back to the Annie Fry Show. Who's the best president this country's ever had? Is it Washington, Lincoln, Trump, or someone else? What do we have right now? You said, okay, I'm gonna go over here. Just tell me real quick some of the people that you've already had, because we're tallying all the other people you comment, and obviously Reagan is very high up there, probably in the top 3 for basically everybody listening to the show. Who else do we have?
Okay, so we have a Reagan up there. Let's see here. I saw a Truman, and FDR.
FDR. Now, I don't think this person is saying Dan Quayle, but they are telling a Dan Quayle story. You have to understand, he was not the president.
Does Bill Pullman count?
No.
Bill Pullman does not count. Let's see. Donald Trump is the best ever. He's doing a great job. There's one for Donald Trump. Start. How about Eisenhower?
Okay.
Eisenhower formed us into the continent spanning mobile America we are today. And then Andrew Jackson.
What?
Andrew Jackson took back power from the central bank. Lots of greats. Takes time to see greatness. Lincoln is the greatest. There's a lot. It's hard to get.
There's a Bill Clinton on there.
No, is that real though?
It's games. So.
All right. If you want to call, we'll take phone calls on up until Wiggins America today on this issue. And just state real quick, Ryan, what you said, because the 3 options that you have here, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and Donald Trump. How did you, if somebody chooses Donald Trump in this poll, how would you feel about that?
Too soon. I think he could be one of the greats, depending on what happens after he's president. So we don't know that yet. And there's a lot still to come.
But what don't we know?
Well, we don't know what he's going to do over this next 3.5 years. Is this nation going to tear itself apart at the seams? Or
because of Trump, that's on Trump? They literally have ripped infrastructure apart over Donald Trump.
Yes. But if we
that's
come
not
away
on him.
if we come away completely divided nation and we're going to fall into another soft civil war after this, I don't think that makes him a great president. Doesn't mean he's doing the wrong things. It just doesn't make him one of the greats. And if we come out of this and we are a more united nation because he has somehow figured out how to root out
I would contest
unbelievable
everything
corruption.
you're saying right there by if you're saying like if it goes into a civil war, which is another option that we have, is the guy who was there during the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln. Of course, you can vote for him. If it were to go into a civil war, in my opinion, that's because somebody finally decided to stand up for what was right.
Yeah.
That would, in my opinion, cause me to appreciate Donald Trump even more. What I believe, the values that I have and hold with my family, actually have a place in the conversation right now because of Donald Trump. And if it weren't for Donald Trump, that might have been lost. If you want to call and talk to us, 314-241-9797. If you agree with Ryan and you think it's too soon to say with Donald Trump, or if you have a different opinion on who it might be, our options today, just because I had to pick 3 plus someone else to include all of the presidents, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Donald Trump, or someone else. Who is the best American president ever? 314-241-9797. We're going to start with Charlie. Charlie, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. What are your thoughts on the best president ever?
Well, I hate to argue with my friend Ryan, but the reason that Trump is the best president is because when George Washington founded our country, he did great things as president, but it was all new. And everything was so much simpler then. The communication with people, it was all done through writing and newspaper. It wasn't done with such immediacy and with such fluid actions. There's so much that's going on that in order to juggle all of this, he has to have amazing management capabilities. And he's appointed all the right people, and he's made the right decisions. Yeah, it's true we haven't had a chance to see the fallout of all of it yet, but at this point, everything seems to be going in the right direction. As far as tearing the country apart or putting it back together, that's one of the reasons I think Lincoln was probably better than George Washington, because he was able to save our nation as a whole.
Charlie, if let's say the South had won the Civil War or the Revolution had gone the wrong way, isn't it all about results? Because in either of those circumstances, you're not coming back and going, hey, Washington and Lincoln are the best. They would not be the best. And that's what I'm saying about Trump, is that you have to see what happens as a result of his decisions rather than just that he's able to make good decisions.
Well, we've already seen some of the results, like negative illegal immigration. The first time in 50 years that's happened in our country. We're seeing crime fall. We're seeing super high employment. We're seeing factories come back into our borders. We're seeing tons of growth. What I'd really like to see and hear you guys talk about is this St. Charles AI cloud thing.
Oh, just talk to Ethan about it. He's obsessed.
Yeah, get the podcast in the last couple of days,
Yeah.
and we'll talk to you on there.
I want to move on to some other callers here, but anything else to wrap up? I think Charlie's making great points. I think you make great points.
Those are great. I'm not arguing with any of those things. Those are good things that he's doing, but we're just at the very beginning of term 2 here. So,
Joe, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. Your thoughts on who the best American president ever is?
I was torn between Abraham Lincoln and Donald Trump. I think they have both already saved our country. I think Donald Trump saved our country in 2016 by keeping Hillary Clinton from nominating 3 Supreme Court justices. I think if she would have had that opportunity, I think they would have gotten rid of the filibuster. I think they would have federalized the election.
Did
we lose him?
Border, and I think that would have been the end of it.
I don't disagree with any of those things.
Joe, are you saying Trump is the best president ever?
I think Trump's the best president ever. I think he has saved our country, and I think everything that he does here in the second term is all icing on the cake, and the sky's the limit.
What do you think about Wiggins being wrong?
I've gotten used to it. I've listened long enough to expect that.
Oh, no.
Joe, thank you for calling. I appreciate you very much.
You just walked him right up to the door and he went through it.
I didn't know what he was going to say.
Yes, you did.
I had no idea.
I'm going to make the same point here, but I just think that all that stuff is true, but that we haven't seen, he has not saved the country yet. We haven't gotten past
I'm going with what
things.
Joe said here. I think he saved the country multiple times already, and he's still got 3 years left.
There's a lot of work to do. That's how deep of a trench it is, and that's why he's among the greats. But we're still not there yet.
I don't even know that Trump's my answer to this question. But the more
you
argue against it, the more I'm for it. We've got a full board of phone calls. We're going to take a very quick break here. Jeff, David, Tony, a couple. They're coming in fast enough that Ethan can't get the names up there. So hold on. We're going to get to you right away when we come back. I'm going to try to give you guys a minute or so to make your point. We'll try to get through everyone before the Be or Not the Be in Wiggins America at 12:47. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
You hardly ever saw Granddaddy down here. They only come a town about twice a year. They buy 100 pounds of yeast and some copper line.
The Retirement Advisory Group. If you go online to retirementkey.com, you can skip everything I'm going to say here. But, of course, I appreciate you listening, as always, and appreciate the Retirement Advisory Group of helping partner with us so that you can continue to listen to the radio for free. You think that retirement is around the corner. You're in your late 50s and your 60s, and you want to make sure that you have an understandable plan that comes with peace of mind of knowing how your money is going to work for you. You worked hard for it. You want to make sure that when you move into retirement that you're like, I got this. I understand what's going to happen next, and I feel great about it. That can start with a phone call to Retirement Advisory Group, 314-993-9494. 314-993-9494. When you call Bob and Tammy Kershaw, you talk to Thomas Helbig at the Retirement Advisory Group. They're going to listen to you, and then they're going to tell you how they have helped so many folks, just like you listening to this station right now, make sure that they have that worry-free retirement they've always dreamt of. 314-993-9494, retirementkey.com.
What's the most important thing when it comes to getting your roof replaced? Honesty, because honestly, most of us don't know what it takes to replace a roof. Mark Cox here from my friends at Correll Roofing Company. Curtis Correll is a friend of mine. I've known him for many years. And when he came to my house to look at my roof, he brought back pictures and showed me where the damage was from the hail. He worked with my insurance adjuster. He made sure I understood exactly what they would be replacing on my roof. Are they putting down felt? Are they replacing any wood? What quality of shingle are you getting on your roof? These are all questions most of us don't know to ask, so you need to be able to trust the person who is doing the work for you. You can trust Curtis Correll. He's got crews with over 20 years of experience. He pays attention to detail with quality materials and workmanship. Call him at 314-222-9529. That's 314-222-9529 or Correll Roofing Co. on Facebook.
Well, we have a whole bunch of chances to win tickets to see Rascal Flatts today. They're at Enterprise Center on January 17th. 3 chances. So stay tuned. Don't get the first one, then stay tuned. You'll have more throughout the day. The YouTube live chat poll today, though, we're taking calls on it right now. Who's the best American president ever? Let us know your thoughts. Why does Annie not turn her mic on when she does that? You know, I mean, it's a great question. I think that she needs to answer on the other side of this break. 12:34. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air
It's
Conditioning.
time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Cutting through the spin. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Okay, it's time to breeze through some of these phone calls. You've got a lot of people waiting here. 314-241-9797. I'm going to get to as many as I can. So if you are holding on the line, I'll give you about 60 seconds to talk. You can make your point, and then we'll react and go on to the next one. So let's keep it short and keep it simple. Do you have an answer on this? Are you prepared, Ryan, yet to give your answer?
Yeah,
I know it's not Trump. I don't want to know who it is yet.
I won't tell you.
Okay.
Ever.
This should make for a great show. Jeff, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. Who is the best American president ever, in your opinion?
I believe that it had to be George Washington because George Washington established what the presidency was. I mean, he basically said no to being the king of America and kind of set up the whole office, and everybody has kind of followed. And that whole peaceful transfer of government is because of George Washington. But I would put Trump in the top three. I think as far as existential issues, government has to prioritize. The level one issue is continuing to exist. So the economy, defense, securing the border, even if you don't like Trump, and sometimes I don't, you have to say that he got an A in those. I mean,
oh, shoot. I hit the button. I'm sorry, Jeff. I didn't mean to do that. He's right, though, with George Washington. George Washington was the one who, as a president, they asked him to run again, and he ran for a second term. But then the whole point of what they were doing was to not be ruled by a king. And so he said, I'm done.
Mm-hmm. And Jeff was going to say that, too.
Thanks. I screwed that up, Jeff. David, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. What are your thoughts on the best American president ever?
Well, I chose Truman. I think it's a real air splitter, though. I mean, it's like you're trying to find the valedictorian of a class, and you're taking the GPA out into the thousands. Very good points for Washington and Lincoln and others, too. But Truman was the first president to have to face a nuclear world. He came in very unexpectedly as the president died, had to be brought up to speed on the A-bomb, had to decide to use it. The only person, or the first person, to face that possibility in history. He wrapped up World War II. He had to do the Berlin, well, he didn't have to, but he decided to do the Berlin airlift after the end of the war. Just so many consequential things. He had to deal with the fact that the Soviets had the A-bomb by the end of the 40s.
David, are you a Missourian?
Yes, I am.
Does that weigh into your Truman affinity?
Pardon me? Well, I don't know about that necessarily. I mean, I've just read quite a bit about him, and
I think it's a good pick.
Go ahead.
I just said I think it's a good pick. I think that Truman is you're not the first person to say that on the YouTube chat. We've had some of those votes, but we appreciate you for your phone call. Lamar, Missouri, that's where he was born. In 1884, 100 years before I was born, he grew up in Independence and for 12 years prospered as a Missouri farmer, which is why we have Truman State here in the state of Missouri. Let's get to Tom's phone call. Tom, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. What do you think about who the best American president ever is?
I think each generation it would be relative, but I have to say Trump, because I look at he has had the most to lose probably out of any president we've ever had. And literally his life, he took a bullet for the country. And if a man's willing to die for his country and come back, he stands on top of many of those people. He is one of the only presidents that has ever lost money. He's a billionaire. He could go live on an island and never look back. And everything he does, even if he fails at it, and this is what I mean by we can't base what's going to happen to his policies, but even if he failed on everything he tried, he truly believes in his heart it is the best for America. So what else can we ask for a president? He has everything to lose, and he's still moving forward. So that's why I think he's the best.
Yeah, that's a great point, Tom. I appreciate that. Scoot says Trump was the first president not to voluntarily step down from office. Do you think that's a real, true statement?
That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous.
It's kind of like bending over and showing your tail.
If that guy was going to try to stay in office, that was the worst attempt I've ever seen.
You know how I said recently, while we're finding out all of the other BS in the burn bags that didn't get burned, all of the exposure of all the lies and the manipulation and the, treason that existed in the deep state. We've been talking about it. We've been saying that this is what has happened, but actual hard evidence, more hard evidence, is now available to show that Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton and all of their deep staters tried to steal the American election away from the American people. Like, that is a factual, that's real, that's facts. The more that I see that all of these things that the conspiracy theorists of the world have said to be true, the more I realize that they were like really, really true. I've said recently, like, I have all these questions about 2020. I have more questions about the election in 2020 now than I did when it was happening. I always figured there was funny business going on. I'm from Illinois. We invented it. We perfected it. Why wouldn't it happen in a federal election? But President Trump says unequivocally the election was stolen from him. He says that as if he knows for a fact that it was stolen from him. And I always think to myself, and I've said this many times on the show before, I think that they changed the rules and the laws so much and made so much gray area that it put the election in play to be meddled with. But the changing of the laws in the states, Pennsylvania being a specific one, that they shifted the goalposts and did so in a questionably legal way that caused the outcome to be what it is, that maybe it wasn't like if you counted all the ballots at the end of the day, maybe somehow Joe Biden did get more. But the more bullcrap that we find out about these other things, the more I think maybe that election was truly stolen from Donald Trump. And on the other side of that, I don't think that January 6th happened in any way, shape, or form the way the media has portrayed it to. I want to know all the details about January 6th. Nancy Pelosi is on videotape talking about the responsibility that she had with the guard and with protecting the people there at the Capitol. January 6th has been such a Trump card, no pun intended, the ace of Trump. It has been such an important, integral part. Think about how long the unselect committee went on. They produced it for prime time. How necessary the January 6th situation was for the left to keep the ruse going. I'm just saying, I don't believe anything you've told me now because you all are a bunch of liars and deceivers with an end goal in mind, which is to get Trump, to the point that that last man said, yeah, he was shot at. He took a bullet for this country because it seems like everything else they lined up for this guy to put him away from the political scene wasn't working. All of these big things don't have explanations that make any sense. So now I'm questioning everything. And that's just because the conspiracies that we've been very, very accustomed to now for over a decade are being proven to be real. That they're not conspiracies, they're not theories at all, they're very real. All right, one more phone call. Andrew, thanks for calling the Annie Fry Show. What are your thoughts on the best president ever?
Two people. I think Zachary Taylor was one of them because he expanded the United States in one term. He gave us Texas, California, and the whole Southwest. And did it in under 4 years, which is pretty badass.
Yeah.
And then the second one would be Theodore Roosevelt because he created the bully pulpit. Without that, I don't think Trump would have a presidency or a political move to do
President Trump talks a lot about Theodore Roosevelt. He likes Theodore Roosevelt. Those are interesting suggestions. I'll add them to the board. Andrew, thanks for calling.
No problem. Thanks.
All right. You were talking about how much you liked Zachary Taylor, which I think is the oldest brother in Home Improvement.
I was going to say, I was talking about Zachary Ty Bryant.
I was talking about Donovan
Not
Taylor
Zachary
Thomas.
Taylor.
Am I right?
No, I was not talking about JTT.
I had a JTT poster on my wall where he was, I don't know, he might have been 15 years old, white background, JTT just sitting there like a JCPenney shoot while he's sitting on a bar stool.
We all had that poster.
Okay. Yeah. I think we did.
Well, okay, Brad apparently didn't, and nor did I.
I don't remember it.
I didn't have it either.
He was more of like a Randy guy. All right, let's take a quick break. If you want to vote in the YouTube live chat poll, you can come to the Annie Fry YouTube channel. Who's the best American president ever? George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Donald Trump, or the possibility exists that you might think it's somebody else? And if you do, go vote for someone else. That's an actual answer in the poll, someone else. And then you got to leave us a comment and tell us who you do vote for and maybe why. We'll be right back. So I've talked to you a lot about Lutheran education and how important it is to me, to my family. I was educated in a Lutheran school, in a Lutheran elementary school, Metro East Lutheran High School in the Metro East. Imagine that. I just got a letter from Lisa. And Lisa, when you hear me talk about Lisa, L-E-S-A is the Lutheran Elementary School Association. You might remember that at the beginning of the year, during National Lutheran Schools Week, we did a little fundraiser to establish and grow the Annie Fry Show Scholarship. And the thing about Lisa is Lutheran schools in the area, 34 elementary schools, 4 high schools. There's another one coming in, a high school coming in Franklin County in fall of 2026. Keep that in mind. This private Christ-centered education is accessible to you. And if you go to lisastl.org, Lisa with an E, stl.org, you can learn about these schools and you can learn about the assistance that will be provided to you. I got this letter that talks about the Annie Fry Show Scholarship. And folks, it is an endowment. And I am here happy to tell you that at this point in time, it has $27,556 in it. And that is just absolutely incredible. And I am so grateful to you for helping us get to that point. And we're going to be looking to add to this scholarship in the future. But if you want to make an impact on local kids and provide them that Lutheran education that I love, that you might love, get online, learn about the schools. You can donate at lisastl.org.
97.1 FM Talk is proud to support the Make Missouri Pro-Life Again banquet. Mark Cox here. Join me Monday, September 8th at the St. Charles Convention Center with special guest speaker Laura Trump. Learn more at 971talk.com/events.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
If you want to win tickets to see Rascal Flatts, now's the time to call 314-241-9797. They will be at the Enterprise Center on January 17th. Show just went on sale this week, but you can win them for free right now and a couple more times in our show today. So stay tuned even if you don't win them right now. 314-241-9797. The 12th caller will win. It is 12:47. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning every time, even when we don't have the sounder.
Calling all future sportscasters. Sharpen your skills and learn from the best of the Missouri Broadcasters Association Sportscasters Forum, Tuesday, September 16th in St. Louis. Join Cardinals beat reporters, broadcasters, and the legendary John Rooney, the voice of the Cardinals, for insider sessions on play-by-play, interviewing, reporting, and more. Then cap the day with a Cards-Reds game at Busch Stadium. Open to college students and broadcasting pros. Just $10 for students, lunch, and a game ticket. Space is limited. Registered by September 2nd at Missouri Broadcasters.
Mark Cox here. Let me introduce you to my friends at the Lit Cigar Lounge in St. Louis, where luxury meets comfort. Premium hand-rolled cigars, an extensive selection of rare bourbons and whiskeys and craft cocktails. It's comfortable for non-smokers, too. They have a state-of-the-art ventilation system. They have private lockers and live music every Friday night, perfect for date nights or business meetings or just winding down. Visit litstl.com.
Annie Fry is back because truth doesn't take a break. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Wiggins! Oh, Wiggins!
The Bee or not the Bee?
I saw some good ones this week.
There were some good ones this week.
Every once in a while I send them to you, but I don't know that I did this week.
Yeah, whenever you do, I'm like, ugh, now I have to use that one. No, I'm not going to use that one because she already knows it.
I'm pretty sure you never use the ones I send you.
I kind of shy away from them because then you already know. So these are ones that Annie has not sent to me. I promise that. Headlines that are either from the Bee, which would make them fake news, or not the Bee, which would make them real news. Here you go. First one. D.C. mayor warns Trump's crime-fighting measures will unfairly impact criminals.
Sounds like the Bee.
Yeah, the Bee.
It is, but this does sound kind of real, though, doesn't it? I mean, it could happen. Quote, it shouldn't come as a surprise to anyone that our fascist dictator president is taking action that will single out a particular people group in our city. He has a track record of doing it before, and now he's doing it to our criminals. We must stand up to this tyranny and protect the important role the criminal element plays in the fabric and tradition of our city. Our criminals deserve better.
That's a total mood.
Yeah, it is. There are some loud people online yelling basically that.
Mm-hmm.
Next one, Spirit flight attendant says in the event of a water landing, life jackets will be available for $39.99.
Oh, man.
This B.
It's the B?
Yeah, it's the B. I don't think you could legally do that. Passengers will always be able to purchase a life jacket before takeoff. While life jackets may be bought after the plane crashes into the water, the price will rise to $99.99, and purchase will be subject to availability.
Hey, supply and demand. Demand goes way up when you're in the water.
Darn right it does. Quote, it really makes you consider your mortality in a unique way, said passenger Lisa Thompson. Obviously, the odds of a water landing are low. Do you accept the very small risk of drowning to save $40? These are fascinating scenarios to present to passengers right when they get on an airplane.
You ever fly Spirit?
I have. I got COVID.
I'm sure. I don't know that those two things are directly related.
I think they were directly related in my case. I actually liked the airline, though. I think I just happened to sit next to somebody who was sick. But I had a good experience on it, other than, getting COVID. Dog buries human remains in front yard for 4th time in the past year.
Say that again?
Dog buries human remains in front yard for 4th time in the past year.
Sounds real because I've not heard of it.
Yeah, it's beyond satire, so that's real.
Yeah, this is real. The South can be a strange and exciting place, is the first line of the story. Yes, a family in Birmingham, Alabama, found their dog bringing home human remains for the 4th time this year. On August 20th, 2024, when this lady's husband spotted the family's 2 dogs playing with a skull on the roadway next to their home, the husband stopped and said, "That just doesn't look right." And then they gave the skull over to authorities, and they said, well, we'll try to find the body. They couldn't find it, but the dog keeps bringing home bones. So they're trying to find this body, and I don't know if they've found it yet, but as of the time of publishing, I don't think they had found the body yet. They're just going to keep waiting on the dog. Next one. Gavin Newsom vows to double California's violent crime if Trump doesn't stop cleaning up D.C.
I don't think he would have said that out loud on purpose.
You say that, but is it real?
No.
That's the B.
You're right, it's the B. Quote, if Trump insists on lowering crime in D.C., then we're going to commit crimes even harder here in California, Newsom said in a video statement on social media. We simply cannot allow him to get away with fundamentally changing the fabric of our nation. This crackdown on violent crime is a crackdown on America itself.
Gavin Newsom is so gross. He's so slick and slimy. There's no part of, like, when he comes to the microphone, he's just so happy that you get to meet him. Every time. There's a clip that's out there right now, and it's like a Brady Bunch checkerboard of videos of him saying that it's something, he uses the word masquerading over and over and over again, but he just has these things that he repeats over and over again. Now, Donald Trump does the same thing, certainly, but I don't feel like Gavin Newsom uses the same, it's something masquerading as weakness. I don't know if it's strength masquerading as, or whatever it is. But he just gives me the vibes that he's going through the political motions. It's always worked for him in the past. He hasn't had any struggles up to this point where he's in his 2nd term as governor. Obviously, he has presidential aspirations, but he's so impressed with himself. Like, I don't really get the feeling that Donald Trump, everybody sit down before I say this. I don't look at Donald Trump as a guy who is just so blindly, in totality, impressed with himself. He has a self-deprecating sense of humor from time to time. He's able to take shots at himself. He does refer to himself in the 3rd person when he does it.
Yep.
But there's something more genuine about Donald Trump. Gavin Newsom looks like he got the politician package off the conveyor belt, slapped it on. It's worked so far. He's been a Democrat in California. He hasn't needed much more. But he's a complete and total hypocrite, and he doesn't change his tune on anything ever.
When I thought this guy is a chameleon, is not even during the DeSantis debate, because a lot of people had kind of an awakening to him
the poop map
when
debate.
he was doing some of that stuff, because he was so good at spinning data and not addressing real concerns
And
in real
moving the
time.
goalposts. As soon as someone got him beat, he just talks about something else.
Yeah, well, look at the murder rate in Anchorage, Alaska, and it's like, what random stat you pull out. But when he started doing this podcast with all these different voices like Charlie Kirk and stuff, I thought, oh, this might be interesting. To me, though, it made him look like more of a slimy politician, because in those interviews, he seems to kind of get along. He doesn't take hard stances against some of the things that the right people say, and then goes out after the podcast and just bashes them.
I don't know how to convey this to you guys in a way that I think that you would really completely be able to grasp from personal experience. But a handsome guy like Gavin Newsom comes up and starts paying attention to you in a bar. Women know immediately what Gavin Newsom wants.
To be governor.
Hard pass. Yeah. You want to be governor, right? No, I will not vote for you. Yeah, I can't stand him. Mitch Harris is going to join us when we come back. I am excited to talk to this former Cardinal baseball player and Navy lieutenant. We're going to have a great conversation about his new book next.
It's the greatest pop rock of the 60s and 70s. The Happy Together Tour 2025 with the Turtles, Jay and the Americans, Little Anthony, Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, the Vogues, and the Cowsills. This Thursday night, the Family Arena. Reserve seats on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture box office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster.
Get ready for BTO live in concert. Bachman Turner Overdrive with special guests April Wine and Zebra. Roll on down the Highway 2025 tour. Saturday, August 30th, the Family Arena, a night of vintage BTO. Tickets on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture box office, located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Don't miss Bachman Turner Overdrive.
I want to talk to you about Stewart's American Mortgage. My friend Stewie, going to go see Stewie today after the show because, as you've heard me say before, I'm trying to build a house, and I just trust Stewie to help me navigate the mortgage situation that I'm dealing with. For a bagel loan, which you can only get with Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage, you're going to get your brand new mortgage or you're going to get a mortgage refinance because, folks, rates are coming down. And you're going to pay $0 in closing costs to make that happen. You need to lock in these rates as they come down. And if you've been waiting for it to hit a certain number, you might be close to that number right now. We don't know how low they're going to get. I keep hearing from people, folks, don't wait for the 2% rates to come back around because those will probably never happen again. I don't know how low it has to get for you to pull the trigger on a bagel loan for refi for yourself. But if you start talking to Stewie, he'll be able to tell you exactly what you need to know so that when it is time, you'll be confident in making that decision. 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440, and MLS number 226-715.
Rhino Shield is far superior to even the best traditional exterior house paint. Rhino Shield is 8 to 10 times thicker than paint and comes with a 25-year transferable warranty. Rhino Shield is the only ceramic coating company that has been chosen by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where every episode is concentrated on unpainted brick, bonds and seals to stucco, wood, hardy, block, color lock, masonite, and more. No better product for those steel aluminum-sided homes that have become, chalky and tired looking. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. After 15 years, we've got a great reputation and a superior product. As long as it's affordable, why wouldn't you do it? Before you make the costly mistake of painting with traditional paint, you'd be best served to call Rhino Shield today. We are the experts and our evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. Tell them, ladies.
No paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
lasting peace. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. It comes from Ukraine's President Zelensky, who says in a posted message that on the day of negotiations, Russia is also killing, adding, that says a lot. This as President Trump was heading to Alaska for a summit with Russia's President Putin, pushing for progress on ending the war.
The base where the summit is going to happen here in Anchorage is one of the most strategically important military outposts in the world. The motto is top cover for all of North America. And once these leaders arrive, we understand if an agreement can be reached to stop the fighting, at least temporarily, in Ukraine, then some of the Russian businessmen who are here or who are arriving with Putin may get a green light to start doing deals here in Alaska or elsewhere in the U.S.
Fox's Peter Doocy. President Trump says without progress, he would walk and that Russia will face severe economic consequences. Washington, D.C. is challenging the federal takeover of the D.C. Police Department with a lawsuit. There's an emergency hearing in federal court at this hour.
The police chief, in a written statement to the courts, is pushing back on Attorney General Bondi's directive issued late last night that strips D.C. of its sanctuary status and immediately installs an interim commissioner. The lawsuit was filed by the government of D.C. It's asking for a federal judge to put a temporary restraining order in place to stop that commissioner from being in place and allow Pamela Smith to do her job as the police chief.
Fox's David Spunt in D.C. The White House says there's an emergency in the nation's capital as a result of failed leadership and that the administration has lawful authority to assert control. What's now Hurricane Erin is expected to keep strengthening, the first hurricane of the Atlantic season. But so far, forecasters also expect it to turn east of the U.S. next week. It could, though, bring heavy rains and possible flooding as it approaches Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands. America is listening to Fox News.
Some things can steal your sunshine.
Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
August is doing its thing once again as a southerly flow opens up. It's sunny hot with building humidity this afternoon. You know, it's St. Louis this afternoon, 95 for the high. Tonight, mostly clear, evening temperatures in the 90s, 75 for the low. Saturday, sunny, hot, and humid, 97, 77 Saturday night. Sunday, sunny, hot, and humid, 98. This heat goes right through Tuesday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
You're listening to the Annie Fry Show live, sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. If you need a new air conditioner installed this summer, call a company you can trust to install your AC properly. That will get your home cool and comfortable fast. For a free estimate on a new air conditioner, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For the sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Well, I want to thank you for being here on a Friday afternoon with us. A nice August Friday day here in St. Louis. And August in St. Louis is always a really interesting time for the baseball season. A lot of times it's make or break here in the city. And our next guest, I'm excited to talk to. Mitch Harris joins us. He's a former Navy lieutenant, and you likely remember his name as a St. Louis Cardinal. Mitch, it's an honor to have you on the show. Was your first game as a St. Louis Cardinal, was it at home?
I wish.
Okay.
My debut was in Milwaukee.
Okay.
But man, I would have loved to run out there as my debut in Busch.
I remember going to a game. at Busch Stadium, Mitch. And I remember your story. Now, a huge military supporting family. I've taught my kids to, my husband and I, we care about if the folks at Walmart are wearing the veteran hat or whatever, thank those people for their service. And we want to obviously thank you for yours as well. But your story was so unique because you were the first Naval Academy graduate to appear in Major League Baseball in like 100 years. What was that like?
Yeah, it was awesome. It's funny. I didn't even understand or even realize that until, I got called up, and then, being able to bring up Nemo Gaines' name again is special. That's who did it last with the Washington Senators in 1921, and just to be a part of history like that is special.
It is, and it made an impact on us. We remembered you from that, and just the amount of gratitude that we had for your service, but also being able to know your story because. I did happen to hear you a little bit on the interview you did with our sister station over at KMOX, and it was a really compelling interview. You were talking about what it was like to sign up, to make a commitment, and you have a book out where people can learn all about your story, which is why we wanted to have you here. The book is called My Private War, Relentlessly Chasing a Dream, from the Navy to the Major Leagues. Tell us a little bit about your story as you were growing up, playing the game, but also maybe having an interest in service.
Yeah, so I grew up playing baseball, throwing the ball with my dad. We grew up here in Georgia, just outside of Atlanta. So I was an Atlanta Braves fan my entire life, and typical kid that just grows up playing all sports and really enjoying it. And played in high school, just your average athlete. Fortunate enough to just crazy get to the academy. That's a whole nother story we can talk about here in a little bit. But man, it was special. It was special to be able to do that. And then, the biggest thing about the whole, book is, Matheny told me, hey, start writing stuff down. And, initially I was like, for what? It's just my story. And he said, this is different. And so I started writing it down. And, years later, what got, the fire kind of lit under me to finish this thing and do this was a buddy of mine, was going through some difficult stuff, just life stuff. And called me and said, hey, man, you've got a lot going for you. A lot of great things have happened. I just want to kind of talk to you about some things. And I was like, man, I just want you to know, like, it is not as pretty as it seems on the inside. There's a lot of stuff I've had to go through as well. And I realized in those conversations, there's a lot of people that think, people that have success and have gone on to achieve things, sometimes it's just an easy, ride for them. And I wanted to make sure I tell the full story, so that people can relate and realize that just because life's difficult or you face obstacles doesn't mean you can't overcome them, doesn't mean that you can become a better person, doesn't mean that you can't achieve the things that you want to achieve. And so that's the whole reason I wrote the book.
Yeah, you mentioned here that making it to the big leagues isn't just about talent. It takes grit, sacrifice, and an unshakable belief in yourself and God's plan, especially when the odds are against you. So a little bit about your story here. Talk to us about competing in baseball. You said you played as a kid, Braves fan and everything. At what point did you think I have an extra skill here? Like, okay, I'll tell you, Mitch, I have a 15-year-old son, loves baseball, plays it all the time. Sometimes he plays other sports, and I'm like, play all the sports, kiddo. You're 15.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But we're very realistic. He's shifted from I want to be a professional baseball player into I'd maybe like to be a broadcaster. So we're working on it there. But when did you discover I have a little extra something here?
Honestly, it wasn't until my sophomore year in college.
Ooh.
In high school, I was just a standard athlete. I could play really anywhere that they put me on the field. I didn't stick out in that I was better than anybody on any particular day or any particular position. But then when I got to the academy, things really started to progress quickly, and I lost 20 pounds my freshman year, gained it all back my sophomore year. And in doing that, I started to get some velocity on the fastball, started really coming to my body. And at that point, I realized, hey, this is actually getting a little bit easier. Ball's coming out easier. It's more free. And then people started to show up at the field that I didn't recognize. And, they had, Major League Baseball team hats on or shirts on or whatever. And I thought, what is this? And, I realized these were scouts coming to see me play. And so that was when I started to realize, like, there's just something a little bit more here that I need to start thinking through. And that's when we started trying to figure out what does this mean? Because going into your junior year, you have to sign the 2-for-7, 2 more years of school, and then 5 total years of service. And so that was a tough decision because it was, hey, I had this lifelong dream of playing professional baseball, but once I got into the academy and understood what service meant, commitment to country, and being able to lead and develop in the leader that I wanted to be, and understanding leadership in general, I wanted to do that. I wanted to do both. And we wanted to try to figure out a way to do both at the same time. And unfortunately, we couldn't figure that out during that time. And so ended up doing all 5 years before I got to play. But man, having my grandfathers both in World War II, that was special to have that connection. My father was not in the military. And I think everybody my age, their grandfathers were.
Right.
And so getting to relate with them was amazing. And getting to share stories that, quite frankly, they hadn't told in decades was really cool. And just a special bond I got to share with them. And that even ignited the fire even more to serve and be a part of that.
So you had made a commitment to the Naval Academy, and you went there. You're kind of midstream with the Naval Academy, and everybody knows once you sign up for that, you've made a commitment, one that we have an enormous amount of gratitude for you for being willing to sign up and answer that call. But now you've got this exceptional skill that's got the attention of other people. You said you continued to serve. Now, while you're waiting to get into the majors, what are your responsibilities to the Naval Academy and to the United States Navy in this amount of time?
Yeah, so once you sign that 2-for-7, you're telling them, hey, I'm going to be for 2 more years. I'm going to stay and graduate, and then I'm going to give 5 years of active duty. And at the time, we're right in the middle of war in 2008, 2009. And so, I was surface warfare. And so I got to drive ships for a living. It was amazing. I got to see over 30 countries before I was 26, 3 deployments in 4 years. Got to learn a lot. I was a weapons officer in my first ship, and then combat information center officer. And then on my second ship, I was the training officer. So a lot of really cool things that I got to accomplish and do those first few years. But it was the combination of understanding that, man, I still have this goal and dream. And what really was fascinating to me, and it's really kind of what kicked me into, hey, I really want to achieve this, was, I always told the guys that were in my division that, hey, if you're in the military for, maybe a stepping stone in your career, a stepping stone in your education, or maybe you just want to be a lifelong, make a career in the military, that's great. But I wanted to understand that so I could help them, and guide them in the direction that they were wanting to go. And one night, late nights in combat, you have all kinds of conversations. And one of the guys said to me, he said, Mr. Harris, what's your plan? What's your goal? And I thought, I wasn't ready to answer that question. And from that moment forward, because they knew that I'd been drafted, they knew the situation. And from that moment forward, I basically made a promise to them that I was going to do everything I could to achieve that dream, because it was also their story. I mean, I was a part of what we all did that together. And so that was a driver for me that, all right, if I'm going to have them have a plan, have a goal, and strive for that, I've got to do that too, or it's just hypocritical. And so I found a guy on the ship that we would throw on the flight deck during flight ops. He happened to be from the Dominican, so I knew he could play baseball. And so my dad would send out bags of baseballs, and we would throw any opportunity we could
on a flight
really
deck,
just to keep, in between flight ups, best we could. It was good for balance, I would say, because I don't know if you try to throw while you're rocking, it's not the easiest thing to do. But we had a blast doing it.
Do you have photos and videos, or do you have of that? That's gotta be something, that's gotta be surreal to be thinking about your service to the Navy, fulfilling that commitment, and knowing that what you're doing there is very, very purposeful and very important, and to know you've got this this skill kind of on deck, in multiple puns, I suppose, there, waiting for
well done.
you. Thank you for your write that down. You've got a lot of opportunity in front of you, and to pick one over the other means you'd have to sacrifice away that opportunity, and you chose service, but without letting go of the other thing. It's probably a little harder to spend all those years, 7 years, doing something else and come back and still be in professional baseball player shape.
For sure. And again, I think that's why, at the time, the military or the Department of Defense had what they call an early release policy, which allowed you to do 2 years of active duty, and then extend your reserve time. Well, obviously, again, being that we were at war at this time, they kind of just put that on hold, which I totally understood. I was just saying, hey, how can we make it work? I'm not going to get any younger, and I can always come back and serve. And so I wanted to make sure when the opportunity presented itself, can I do both? And we just didn't get a good answer on that. And so I just told myself, look, I'm going to keep my body in the best shape that I possibly can. So when I do have the opportunity, all I have to work on is my arm, because I knew if I kept my body in good shape, I didn't have to worry about it breaking down. I just had to focus on getting my arm back in shape from not throwing so many years. And so that's what happened. I showed up in spring training in 2013. I was grunting, throwing 83, 84, and just trying to figure out how do I get that muscle memory back to getting to do pitching shape and baseball shape. And that was a challenge, to say the least.
So we know a little bit about your service here. If you've just tuned in, we're talking to Mitch Harris, former Navy lieutenant and Major League Baseball player here for the St. Louis Cardinals. I very vividly remember when we were able to see you take the field for the first time at Busch Stadium. What was the commitment from Major League Baseball? Did they know the whole time, like, well, we got this guy and he's pitching to a guy from the Dominican on a flight deck somewhere. We're waiting for him to come back. How did Major League Baseball treat the situation?
So this is where I give the Cardinals so much credit. I mean, this organization means the world to me. And the fact that they put me on their, so they drafted me in 2008. They put me on their military reserve list, meaning that they owned the rights to me, understanding that I had a military commitment. And, when my service time was coming to an end, I basically just called the front office, the connection I had at the time, and just said, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but you drafted me 5 years ago. If you don't mind, I'd love to show up to spring training, and they said, absolutely. If you think you can do it, come on. And we got down there and we did everything we could to try to get this, arm back into shape. And they were so welcoming. It was an interesting first year, to say the least. My first year, I was 27. Ali Marmol, who was the short season manager, was 26. Carson Kelly was our first round draft pick, or first picked, I should say, in that season. And he was, I think, 17 or 18. So that was a very interesting dynamic that first year, being older than the manager, almost 10 years older than our recent draft pick. But we had a blast. I learned a lot. And it was cool. I had to kind of relearn how to pitch at 27, having not played for 5 years. But I wouldn't have changed it for the thing. It made me who I am. Made me battle a little bit of adversity, which obviously helped me along the way as I climbed the ladder up to the big leagues.
Mitch Harris speaking with us right now. His book is My Private War, and I encourage you to grab this book. It's available on Amazon, on MitchHarris.com. I want to ask you, too, before we have to wrap up, you talk about adversity a lot here. The sheet that I have here talks about having an unshakable belief in yourself and God's plan. That makes me think that maybe faith has something to do with getting you through that adversity. But you face a lot of challenges, even though you have a lot of opportunity in front of yourself. There are not many people out there who have done what you've done in life, but I'd imagine the adversity is probably understandable across all professions and walks of life. What does, average Joe, average Jane get out of reading your book, My Private War?
Yeah, I think the obvious is, people think, oh, okay, he's got to face adversity of having to battle the minor leagues and getting to the big leagues. And that's all true. The reason I wanted to write the story and to write the book is because I wanted people to understand the adversities they didn't see, the mental challenges I had to go through, the physical, the spiritual, all the things that I went through during that. When I came off my last deployment, I was married and things just didn't seem right. And I got home on my 1 year anniversary to someone who basically said, I don't love you anymore, ran off with someone else. That turned into a spiral into a rock bottom that I never saw coming. And it was a challenge, to say the least. And for me, it was a night where I basically had gone to a counselor, and he basically said, hey, you need to write stuff down. And it even got to the point where I packed a duffel bag to just get out of there. It was so devastating as a Christian, not really anticipating having to go through divorce and wondering, all right, God, why in the world do you have this on my plate? Why is this in the plans? And wrestling with that, wrestling with what my belief was, wrestling with my identity. And when I packed that bag, the last thing I packed was a 1911 45 caliber pistol. And I always tell people, the reason I bring that up and I tell people is because I'm not sitting here saying that I was going to commit suicide, but I don't know. I have no idea what the purpose of that was. I just know that my mind was not in the right state. I was not thinking straight. I wasn't clear as to what was going on. I didn't know up from down. And I walked to my truck, just needing to get out and just, get a reboot. And when I got to the truck, went to grab the door handle, and my mom called. And for me, that was, it wrecked me, and I wasn't okay. And she made sure that, we talked to people and got some help, and again, saw counseling. And finally one night, still kind of battling the things. He asked me to write feelings down, and it wasn't something that I have, a good feel for, is journaling. But I said, I've got nothing else to lose. Why not? And so I started writing and writing and writing. And I went back to look at things that I had written. And I came across a quote that said, "It takes courage to face the mountain and strength to climb. But when you reach the summit and see the valley, you realize who you become." And I thought, wow, where did that come from? I did not write that. I'm not in the state of mind to write that. And at that moment, I just said, all right, God, if you're trying to say something to me, I need you, because I can't do this on my own. And that was the turning point for me to say, first of all, I went to the tattoo place and made sure I put that on my ribs to make sure I never forget the depths of which I came from. So today that is still in my ribs. A seat at the beach, I'll prove it to you. But it's one of those where for me, I never wanted to forget the depths of which I was at, so that when I did reach the summit and look back, I realized who I became, not what I went through, not all the negative, but look at it as a positive that, man, I went through this. I faced adversity. I had to build some strength, but look at who I am now. Look at who God allowed me to become. And that was the challenge. That was the hardest part. But for me, that's the whole purpose of this story, the whole purpose of this book, because I want people to understand life's not easy. You're going to go through some challenges. You're going to go some things that, quite frankly, you may not ever get answers to. But understanding that we may not understand why on this side of Earth. And so for me, it's a matter of just, man, if I can just trust in that He has a higher plan, a higher goal, things for us to do. And that's what I want to do. And if I can impact lives through this book, and just one person is impacted by this book, it's a success.
Well, I can tell you that one of those people who is going to read this book is going to be my son. I'm going to get a copy for me and a copy of My Private War for him, so he can understand your story a little bit more than what has already been talked about, because there's a lot that people see on the surface, of course, with such a professional position that you've had as a Major League Baseball player. But your service and your life experiences, there's always so many layers that go under all of that, a lot of adversity, and that is an incredibly powerful story, Mitch. And I'm really grateful that you shared it with us here today, and I hope that people pick up your book to learn about that. And I'm certain that people will read this book and see their own story intersecting at times in yours, maybe the different details. But
yeah, exactly.
It's good that you wrote that stuff down. You encourage other people to do that, write stuff down?
Absolutely. I think it's finding your outlet, whatever that is, and it's the healthy outlets, right? And I say that with a smile, because, man, I tried all kinds of outlets and many of them did not work. And so I think finding people that you trust, finding people that you can confide in, finding people that you can have accountability with is huge. Especially, and I always say this, don't keep yourself in kind of that bubble, because loneliness breeds temptation, and that's where some things will happen that you don't want to have happen. Trust me. And so for me, it was a matter of getting out of that. Just, hey, I'm going to hide all this. I'm going to hold my feelings in. I don't want people to know I feel guilty. I feel shame, and realizing that, man, people have got my back. People who love me really care about me. And if I can just kind of just let them know, hey, I'm struggling. I need this. I need to talk to someone about that. That really helped me. And so if that's someone's going through that, I just encourage you to reach out to somebody, reach out to a loved one, reach out to a friend, go grab coffee, write stuff down, but don't sit on your by yourself and get caught up in the loneliness, because it's not going to go well. But you can get out of it. You can do it. If I did it, you can do it.
Well, thank you for your time today, Mitch. It's an honor to talk to you. I want to encourage people to go to MitchHarris.com. They can learn more about your book. And thank you for sharing your story. It's a brave thing to do, and we're really grateful you did it with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
You bet. We're grateful for you. Mitch Harris, the author of My Private War, please go to mitchharris.com. You can also check out My Private War on Amazon as well and read this book, learn about this story, and maybe it'll empower you to feel that, you have the ability to push through some adversity if you're experiencing that right now, or just read a really great story about a really, really wonderful American. That's a pretty awesome story. Didn't know that was gonna develop that way. MitchHarris.com. All right, let's take a quick break. We're gonna get Ethan in here. We're gonna do local and sports next. Don't go away.
Some call me the gangster of love. Some people call me Maurice.
TheDiamondShop.net. Please consider shopping for your next piece of fine jewelry. You're looking for a beautiful pair of earrings, maybe a nice necklace, a watch. They have all the fine jewelry that you're looking for at the Diamond Shop, and they have it for less right now in a lot of instances. Through tomorrow, they have a summer clearance and estate sale happening at the Diamond Shop in Clayton. The red tag clearance is up to 70% off, which is fantastic. 50% off all estate pieces as well at the Diamond Shop. So you can go in and see all of the different pieces that they have really marked down right now as they make room for some new beautiful things to put in the showcase. If you go to thediamondshop.net, you're going to be able to sign up at the bottom of the homepage to be VIP. Now, it's not going to take much of your time, maybe 45 seconds. Extra 10% off on the red tag clearance items when you go to thediamondshop.net. It's through tomorrow, so you got to hustle up and get there. That red tag clearance up to 70% off, 50% off all estate pieces at the Diamond Shop, thediamondshop.net.
Hi, Chad Hansen with Hansen's Tree Service. If your trees are looking sick or if you have insects that aren't welcome in your landscape, Hansen's can help. Our plant health care program offers tree and shrub fertilization as well as pest management to maintain a great-looking landscape. Check us out at hansenstree.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
This station is now conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test.
Protect your liver and give it the support it deserves by making Active Liver from New Nordic part of your daily wellness routine. Find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS, Meijer Grocery, or online at Amazon or at newnordicusa.com.
Rooted in faith, grounded in family. We're back with more truth. This is the Annie Fry Show.
Hold up. Check it out.
And now, Cookie the Clown.
Said Cookie the Clown?
Yeah,
That's
it's just Cookie the Clown.
Sports and local with our friend Ethan. I'm changing the game. We're doing 3 segments. Make that happen. Thank you. Because we're supposed to break now for the next one.
All right. Well, thank you guys. That was a great segment. And,
Ethan,
I look forward to being back next week.
Best work.
It was my best work. It's not a question.
I wouldn't say that was the best open, though.
What was it? Cookie
Just
what?
Cookie the Clown.
Cookie the Clown.
Yeah, not much
Wasn't
to
your
it.
most creative.
While you guys are talking about that, I will remind people that President Trump has officially arrived in Alaska for that summit with Vladimir Putin, and we will be watching for any details that might develop over the course of our show. They're supposed to meet starting at 2 o'clock our time, so it is upon us, essentially, that this meeting will take place. And if anything happens during the 2 o'clock hour, if President Trump comes out to speak, if they both come out to speak, we will cover it here live on 97.1 FM Talk.
And
Cookie Monster, go ahead.
That's great and all, but compared to things
That's the
that you
opposite
can,
of local.
Things that you can do in St. Louis this weekend?
What can you do?
Do you remember when?
tell us.
Remember when Rod Stewart played earlier?
I do. Was that a foreshadowing?
No, not intentionally, at least.
Are you guys Rod Stewart fans?
No.
No. So there's this one song that I consistently put in the playlist, and the only reason I do is because the music video is him just like cradling this like probably what 5-year-old
his son?
kid. I don't know, but he's like not a baby. He's like
No.
at least 5 or 6 years old. And he's just singing with this kid in his arms
And that's
as they're
the whole
driving
video.
in the bed of a pickup truck the whole time.
Is
So
he coming
anyway,
to town?
He's coming to town. Yes, he's here tonight at the
Probably
Hollywood
listening right now.
Casino Amphitheater. Tickets
You think
range.
Rod Stewart comes to St. Louis. Is like, I wonder what the local conservative talk radio station's talking about.
Well,
Can't imagine he wouldn't.
he hates us if he was.
Hi, we're big fans.
We love you, Rod.
Anywhere from $30 to $741.15.
Do you get to be rocked by Rod Stewart if you pay that much money?
Excuse me?
You are on stage in the back of a pickup truck being rocked like a little boy for $750.
People love Rod Stewart.
Yeah, some people do.
People love, like, that guy has had an enormous career, a ton of hits, and he has a huge fan base. So welcome to St. Louis.
I
Mr.
just told
Stewart.
Ethan out that we were talking about this story, and he said, "Are you a Rod Stewart fan?" I said, "I just don't really care. Like, when his songs come on, I don't hate them."
It's a little bit earlier than our.
It's
just a
before
little
us.
bit earlier.
Not
than
too
ours.
far earlier than us, though.
Our moms might have liked Rod Stewart.
Are
you going to Rod Stewart?
Am I?
Okay.
He's being cradled by him.
Paying that $700 ticket.
The Brood Arts Festival is tonight on Cherokee Street. It's actually from 1 to what time? It's 1:30. It's going on right now. It already started.
Better hurry.
Sampling a bunch of different brewed drinks. Like I said, on
Brood.
Cherokee Street.
You think
and
they're
there's also,
listening?
There's also live music.
Like a brewery. I
Yeah.
thought it meant like a
Not like a cauldron.
group of.
Brood.
No, like a group of people. Isn't that like a.
A brood?
Yeah.
BROOD?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
He said brood
I
festival.
think brood of witches is what I was referring to.
I don't know that.
So that would be the same thing.
So if you want to get your Friday started a little bit, your weekend started a little bit early, go check out the Brood Arts Festival. Here's my favorite one. There is something going on out west in O'Fallon, Missouri. That's O'Fallon, Missouri. The
Data center?
Tacos and Tequila Festival with, hear this, Lil Jon, T.I.,
What?
and Chingy and Chamillionaire.
Chamillionaire is going to be there. I wasn't
it-
really interested in you
is
said
it
until you said Chamillionaire.
Chamillionaire?
I don't know. It's C-H-A. Millionaire.
Do you know how to say?
It's
do you call it?
chameleonaire.
Do you say chameleon or?
Well,
do you
I
say
just said Chingy before, so I just had the cha
He
sound.
was also out there singing earlier, Karma, 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 Chameleon.
That's the most
Air.
Ryan Wiggins thing that you ever said, Ethan.
That is.
I just said a cha word. What do you want from me?
This is early. We normally in 2 o'clock hour.
I didn't think this was a professional broadcasting experience.
I said chameleon.
Did you guys grow up as fans of T.I. and Lil Jon? Is that
Yeah.
your guys' age
Yeah.
of music?
Yeah, in the club, there was a lot of
That's
that.
50 Cent.
I'm actually talking about in
You're
the club.
physically in the
not
club.
the club.
Understood.
But in the club, played in the club a lot in our time.
I'm just confused.
Dun, 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 dun.
So
Okay.
It's confusing when they played at barbecues.
When I was in college at Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville, and in a mass communications class, I believe it was video production, we had to create a news package. And Chingy was doing a concert at SIUE, and I have a news package that I did on Chingy.
Oh, bring that in.
I wish I should find it.
Was he with Chamillionaire as well?
I'm not familiar with
He
who
was
that-
only Chathousenaire at that time. Thank you very much. I'm done. You can take over from here.
So not fair. What else is going on this weekend? You guys know how they do the hot air balloon festival every year in
That
St. Louis?
seems like such a great idea.
Well, now I guess there's one in Staunton this weekend too.
Cool.
So if you're, if one hot air balloon festival is not enough for you and you're in the greater St. Louis region, go to Staunton.
Get
It's
on 55 and
starts
head
at
north.
3 o'clock and ends at 10 o'clock tonight. And there's going to be all kinds of different things. It looks like there's going to be some, I guess they're going to be giving people rides in them, food and drinks,
Well,
all
I
kinds
don't
of
want to
fun
go
stuff
in
going.
it.
Why
No.
not?
Oh, that would be
Why?
the best part.
No, gravity.
The balloon glows are fun too. Just watching them.
That's all I want to do is look at them.
Well, then you need to go to Staunton.
I think I will. Usually I go there for sports.
You ever been to the one they do in Marine, Illinois?
No, but I've heard it's good.
It is fantastic. It's really
I didn't
good.
know they did other ones.
Is that like a September one?
I can't remember when it is. We went multiple years in a row when my kids were young, and I think COVID stopped us.
So I love the thought of going to a balloon glow like that. I don't know if you guys experience this. There is a huge mental block for me from me being at home and doing whatever we want at home, which includes wonderful versions of nothing, to getting to the place where we're bringing 6 people into a place like a balloon glow and driving there and figuring out parking. And now I think about leaving in the midst of a whole bunch of other people trying to leave a parking lot. It causes me a level of anxiety where it's like, I don't want to do that. But every time I go to one of these things, I'm so glad I did it.
That's why places like Marine, or Staunton in this case, are great to go to events like that.
Do you just park in a field?
Yeah, well, like for fireworks or something that you can see from far away, going to a small town to do it is the best. We like going to Mascoutah for fireworks for that reason.
Yeah, I would consider that. So Staunton, does it say where it's at in Staunton specifically this weekend?
Clear your throat.
Is it like how
elsewhere,
close to the
please.
Hardys?
I'm trying to find where I put the paper. Oh, here it is. It's over here. It's over here. Fireman's Park
Okay.
is what it says, which is on Montgomery Street in Staunton.
We're in proximity to the Hardys.
What? That is so not fair.
Is that next to the Hardys? Is that east, west, north, or south of the
There's
Hardys?
a really nice nursery there, and by
stressing
nursery
me
I'm
out.
talking about plants. And there's a Hardys, and then I know where the high school is and the grade school is.
Tethered balloon rides are $20
Heck
and
no.
$15 for kids under 12.
I am being super served in the algorithm an ad to go to the
Staunton.
the desert that is just south of Vegas, whichever desert that is.
Mojave.
Is it?
I have no idea.
No, I think that's what I had in my head.
Sahara.
I was going to joke that. Get out
Death
of my
Valley.
wavelength, buddy. But there is a festival, and it's called Rise. And John Mayer is the headliner on Sunday night. I think it's October 5th. And the festival is called Rise. And
It is the Mojave.
I was thinking it was Mojave.
I hate that you
wanted
were
to
right.
say that, and then I didn't want it to act Mojave Desert to actually be in Africa or something. Which, guys, I don't do geography. Leave me alone. But this concert it's called Rise, and John Mayer is my fave, and I've traveled to see him before. But they do a lantern festival a la Tangled Rapunzel, which I have said is the most beautiful animated scene in the history of animation. My girls have a gigantic fathead thing on their wall.
Careful, Biden.
Look, fat. This big scene on their wall that is the lantern scene from Tangled. I just think it's so beautiful, and I think those lanterns are so beautiful. And now there's this concert that involves the lantern thing, but like en masse, a ton of lanterns, and John Mayer.
2 questions.
And I'm thinking about going.
First one, do the lanterns light up on your kid's wall?
No.
That's pretty lame. And 2, have you ever been to Vegas?
No.
Vegas is really cool.
So like I'd be checking so many boxes.
Vegas, there is when I say there's nothing like Vegas in the country.
I believe it.
There's nothing like it.
Because I think if we went, we would stay in Vegas, and they have shuttles that go back and forth. And I mean, the John Mayer concert is Sunday night, October 5th, I think it is. So I could go there, and I could fly home and do the show on Monday.
You should do it. The Mojave Desert, it says, is known for its unique flora and fauna, including the iconic Joshua Tree. The Joshua Tree
I didn't
is
know
an
that was there.
album by John Mayer.
No, it's not.
That's false.
By YouTube. Even I knew that.
You can make up stuff about geography and Vegas and the one thing I am concerned about this. Are you looking at the concert, Rise, the festival? Did you pull it up?
No. I'm looking at the Mojave Desert.
I don't want to go do this and have this experience, but have it be some like new agey spiritual thing where I'm like, I just think they're pretty. I don't want to sign myself up for something that I'm looking around going, I'm not one of these people.
Well, it's a festival in the desert, so there's always that risk that you're
For
running.
sure. Ryan, I want you to look at it and tell me what you think it is by the end of the show.
Hold on.
If I should go.
Are you're asking for advice from Ryan on this?
Well, I think you understand what I'm talking about with the spiritual kind of weirdness, like new agey type of thing. I don't want to go in the middle. I don't want to put myself in the middle
So
of
you're
that.
asking for serious Ryan.
What's the name of the concert again?
Rise. It's a festival. Just Rise, John Mayer.
Okay.
What? We don't need to Google Live here. You got another story?
Just a couple other things that are going on in the city this week, or this weekend, I guess. Jersey Boy starts on Monday. It's the final show of the summer at the Muni. And then the Festival of Little Hills is returning to St. Charles this weekend in Frontier Park, right on the river, and it's going on
What is the
all weekend.
Festival of Little Hills?
The Festival of Little Hills has been going on since 1971 in St. Charles, and it's meant to just celebrate the super rich history of St. Charles. A bunch of different things going on. arts and crafts vendors, live music, a bunch of different foods. Just meant to be kind of a big community gathering. Cultural heritage and community spirit of St. Charles.
It's like right on the river there, on the Missouri River.
Right on the river, yeah. Super pretty down there on Main Street. So if you don't have anything going on, I would recommend that.
I just got turn-by-turn directions through Staunton to get to Fireman's
Stop
Park.
it.
Yeah.
Wait, from the Arby's?
No, from the Hardee's.
Hardee's.
They don't have an Arby's, Ethan. It's a Hardee's.
You got to go to Alton for that.
I haven't been to Staunton since 2017, so forgive me.
It's very specific.
Played soccer.
Go all the way down Main Street, turn left before you go over the railroad tracks. I love it.
You can't make that up.
I love it.
Can't make it up. Last thing I'll mention here real quickly, still waiting to hear further updates on the Boeing union strike that I brought up last week. Both sides still having not come to an agreement yet, and meetings still going on, but this is the end of the second week of the Boeing union strike.
It's impactful.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the sports and local. How'd you feel about that Mitch Harris conversation?
Oh, man, it was awesome. So I had the opportunity to interview him last week
this
and
is
talk
such
a
a
little bit
Ryan
about the
Wiggins
book.
thing to do. I talked to him first. Okay, Ethan, go on with it. Where can people listen to your podcast?
Not even going to mention it.
Yes, you should right now. This is
Well-
your opportunity. I'm setting you up.
Well, this was actually not even my thing. It was like filling in on Matrix Midwest with
Mhm.
Randy Carricker, and it was cool. It was very cool to get to speak to him and to hear a little bit just about his story. And and the cool part is that this was a little bit more of a long form, so you got to hear him go even more into detail on some of these things and just how tough life has been for him at some times.
On the one you did?
No, on this one, on this interview.
Oh, yeah. I told Brad, I'm going to go long on this one.
No,
I just
yeah.
wanted the opportunity.
Smart to do so. And
So it's
no,
not
I really
on
enjoyed it.
the Loose Sports.
This is not on the Loose
Talk.
Sports Talk, but
But if people wanted to listen to it and just look for it and listen to all the episodes
of the
for
Loose
it,
Sports Talk,
they could.
they
Just
definitely
won't
could.
You should have them on.
We might. Actually, Brad was mentioning that earlier. I'm like, this would be a really good off-season guest.
Where do people get your Loose Sports Talk podcast?
So if you want to listen to it, it's on Spotify and Apple Podcasts at the Loose Sports Talk. And then we are now doing video episodes on STL Sports Central's YouTube page. So if you want to watch, I don't know why people enjoy watching.
It's where Ryan gets all his sports information. Out of 5 stars, Ryan, your review?
Oh, it's 5. That's basically what Wiggins America is on the weekends.
You just listen to that?
I go,
It's a
hey,
show
check
prep.
out this from the Loose Sports Talk podcast, and then I just play that
The
for an
number
hour.
one, our number one source for sports information.
Thank you.
The Loose Sports Talk.
Releases new episodes every Wednesday morning.
I would tell you need to go check it out. It's good stuff. All right. Thank you, Ethan. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Even if it doesn't always seem like it.
Most of you, I
we
feel the
do.
appreciation from.
We do.
Most of you.
In the 2 o'clock hour, we'll get you back in here if you are able to for next question. If you want to send us your questions for the show, you can ask us anything. Hit us up on the Andy Fry YouTube live chat and throw a comment in there. This is the first time we've had this conversation. What's the progress right now on people being able to text?
Well, I think that exists.
But do we know how to make it
No, and
readable?
we never will.
We're going to have that opportunity soon. I took training, I think.
I did too. We did a good job.
It could be accessible right now.
Get on the YouTube live chat comments and tell us how much you'd like to text us. And tell us who the best American president ever was. Of course, that's the poll. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Donald Trump, or someone else. We'll be right back. So I got to tell you about Air Comfort Service, and I'm supposed to talk to you about underpants. That's just the way it is. AirComfortService.com. Now, see, when Corey Malone and the folks at Air Comfort Service see a need, they rush to try to help. And what they're essentially trying to do here is help kids in foster care have the basics. And when I'm talking about the basics, I'm talking about undies. It's really pretty simple. Undies and socks, of course. If you call Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation for any AC or HVAC service, in the month of August. So you got to call them at 314-513-0091. 314-513-0091. You call Air Comfort Service, set up your AC or HVAC service, and then ask them about their undies. Now, this is what I'm told I'm supposed to say. So if you call them and you ask about their undies and they have a problem, I need to know. But if you ask them about their undies, they're going to donate another pair, another set of underwear and socks to local foster kids through the Foster Together organization. It's actually a really, really amazing thing that Air Comfort Service is doing. It's a necessity, and you can be a part of that solution. They're also accepting donations that Air Comfort Service will match dollar for dollar. So make sure that your AC is making it through this hot, hot summer and help make a strong impact and help those local foster kids along with Air Comfort Service. aircomfortservice.com/undies.
Insurance companies often have a basic strategy: delay, deny, defend. Some try to grind you down, but they have another tremendous weapon, a software called Colossus. They know which attorneys are great and which are not so great. They know who's likely to take the last offer and who will take them by their scalp, kicking and screaming to trial. They know that they have to pay some firms early and fairly. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. The insurance companies have done their homework. Before you hire a lawyer for your injury case, do yours. Visit forthepeople.com and see our settlements and verdicts for cases like yours. We became the largest injury firm in the world for a reason. When you hire the wrong firm, you may be beat before you start. All law firms are not the same. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
This is another chance to win tickets to see Rascal Flatts at Enterprise Center on January 17th, but it's not even your last. We got another one after this. So if you call right now and you don't win, stay tuned. You'll have another. 314-241-9797. 314-241-9797. Once again, be the 12th caller, and you will win a pair of tickets to see Rascal Flatts at Enterprise Center on January 17th. That's it. Thanks, Brad.
Are you nearing retirement and don't know if you have enough money saved to retire? That is scary. Do you have a written retirement financial plan in place? Well, when it comes to retirement planning, the trusted team at Financial and Tax Architects are the best. They've helped people all over St. Louis retire with confidence. And that's what you want. You want to retire with confidence. Now, they offer a one-night, 2.5-hour adult education class called Retirement Planning 101. They hold these at colleges over the St. Louis area and in Illinois. No cost, no obligation, just learning. And at this class, you learn how to avoid costly mistakes, how to maximize your income, how to reduce taxes in retirement. So call them today, 314-888-5101, or visit fta-ria.com and take the first step toward a smarter retirement. 314-888-5101.
Annie Fry, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Range. It's the Annie Fry Show.
Just like the white-winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Just like the white-winged dove sings a song, sounds like she's singing. Ooh, baby, ooh, say ooh. In the days
Well, as we've been reporting, it is Putin-Trump in Alaska Day, and this should be happening here very, very shortly. Brett Baer is there on Air Force One. He was with President Trump on Air Force One and was interviewing him.
Good afternoon from Joint Base Eldendorf here. We just landed Air Force One. Right now, the president is meeting with several dignitaries, including Senators Sullivan and the governor here. And they have just gone onto the plane. Obviously, Vladimir Putin is still not landed yet. We're told he will land in a few minutes. But it was an interesting ride. 6+ hours, and during that time I did sit down with President Trump and asked him a whole host of questions about his expectations, even asked him about Hillary Clinton and the Nobel Peace Prize statement by Jessica Tarloff in that podcast. But here's a little bit about what he's looking at as far as landing here and what he expects. Take a listen.
So what
are your expectations? I mean, is the goal of this meeting in Alaska to walk away with a ceasefire?
So when you talk about deals, it's all I do. My whole life, I do deals. You never know. You don't like to have too many expectations. You want it because you have to weave and bob, and you don't know what's going to happen. But we're going to go and find out. I'd like to see a ceasefire. I wouldn't be thrilled if I didn't get it, but everyone says you're not going to get the ceasefire. It'll take place on the second meeting. The second meeting is going to be but I'm not going to be happy with that. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to be, I won't be happy if I walk away without some form of a ceasefire. Now, I say this, and I've said it from the beginning, this is really setting the table today. We're going to have another meeting if things work out, which will be very soon. Or we're not going to have any more meetings at all, maybe ever.
So there you have the president. That's on Air Force One. Brett Baer sitting across a desk. You can see the presidential seal just behind President Trump, and it's just above an airplane window. Got to get that thing in there. And Brett Baer is asking him these questions to find out what the expectations are. And President Trump continues to measure our expectations with his expectations, which is, I want the killing to stop, but I'm not going in with confident predictions to come out that may not materialize. And that's the first time I've heard him say something to the effect of, if this doesn't work now, we might not ever meet again.
This is a little bit of a controversial take on this. I don't like the Nobel Peace Prize talk right now. I want that to not be a part of the story until the story's done.
I don't really think it's a huge part of it. I don't think the Nobel Peace Prize, I honestly don't think people on our side of the aisle give it much credit at all. I don't think people care about it. It's Netanyahu presented across a dinner table to Donald Trump a while back his nomination for him for the Nobel Peace Prize. I don't think that anybody on our side of the aisle is putting any weight into that. I think the story here is that Hillary Clinton said something positive.
That is a story, for sure. That actually was a huge surprise to see this morning. But I just don't like it when this is framed as, well, this is about Trump's legacy.
I don't think people are framing it that way. And I
hope
especially,
he's not.
That's kind of been my whole point the entire day. He is not in any way, shape, or form framing this like he's the Superman here. He is repeatedly telling people, are you hearing him say that he's like that he's Mr. Nobel Peace Prize here? Is that what you're hearing him say?
No, I'm not hearing him say it, but whenever it's part of the conversation, it's unavoidable that people are thinking about it. And I just think it hurts the negotiation. I think Putin obviously wants this to be about himself. That is obvious. Everybody knows that Putin loves Putin. Trump loves Trump. It's okay. But when Trump gets involved, I don't want Putin to think that the story's not about Putin and it ruined the negotiation.
But I don't think if Vladimir Putin was worried about a popularity contest, he would never be meeting him in the United States of America to have this conversation. I think Vladimir Putin wants a way out, but he wants a way out that doesn't make him feel like he's got to hang his head while he does it, because he's not going to do that. My personal opinion, and I'd love to, I think I have asked Jim Carafano about this, but I think conversations of Nobel Peace Prizes is like fodder for the little people to talk about. I don't think that makes any difference to anybody who's actually involved in these conversations to try to somehow or another garner peace. It's just, it's something that certainly we can spend time talking about, and we could sit here and make very impassioned and logical arguments as to why President Trump should probably have multiple peace prizes. But I don't think it matters. And the history of the honor is so degraded with what they've done in the past. I mean, look at what Barack Obama has a peace prize for.
Yeah, being in office for 8 months.
It's a joke.
Ridiculous.
It's an absolute joke. So I don't think that my personal opinion is it's not even a factor in the conversations that are going to happen in Alaska.
With this negotiation, it's amazing again to see that, and part of it's just because he's the president of the United States. Any president gets some of this. But Trump is on another level, that if he is involved in anything, even if he tries not to be, he's still the story. He has got to be the most famous person in the entire world, maybe in world history.
That was the argument against the mugshot. A mugshot is intended to notify the public of an offender. And people rightfully were going, do we need to tell anybody on the face of the planet what Donald Trump looks like?
I think I know what he looks like.
Not only does everybody know who he is, but he's not a normal looking dude. It's not like Donald Trump. You know, Mike Johnson could be walking around Ruler Foods and you wouldn't go, oh, is that the Speaker of the House? You wouldn't do that. Donald Trump's going nowhere subtly.
Yeah.
Ever. Neither is Barack Obama.
That's true. Although Trump does look, he just has a look. Even when he was younger, you know, you watch him on Oprah back in the 80s, you're like, that dude just looks different.
Even his aesthetic, his hair is weird. It's grown on me over, like, I get it now, but I realize that he has marketed himself. He's branded himself. He talks about his hair. It's not like literally, it's not an untouchable thing. Just ask Jimmy Fallon. But his hair is part of his signature. It's part of his brand. I was looking for, if you get onto the Annie Fry YouTube channel today, you'll see I make a thumbnail every day for the YouTube video. And it's got Mount Rushmore in the background, but it's also got Donald Trump sticking in there. I'll just pop it up here real quick because it's kind of funny. He's pointing. When I searched on my stock photo website that I go to, and I searched Donald Trump, it was outrageous the things that they popped up there. A lot of them were just kind of like a swoop of orange hair.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. So he has this entire time, like the consistency of his look has existed back to the Oprah days when Oprah loved him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the bat signal goes up, and it'll just be like a little swoop with like maybe the duck lips on the side, a silhouette. Everybody knows who it is.
It's an image. All right, it's 2:00. And that means that Putin and Trump should begin their meeting very shortly. Rubio and Witkoff will be joining President Trump at this meeting. And anything that breaks during our show here on 97.1 FM Talk, we'll bring straight to you. We'll be right back.
Is your home, business, or church looking tired, chalky, or in need of curb appeal? Go Rhino. Tired of painting year after year? Go Rhino. Our unique 3M ceramic technology is perfect for brick, stucco, aluminum, steel, color lock masonite, and more. It's backed by our 25-year transferable warranty to not chip, crack, or peel. Great if you're staying, and even better if you're selling. Our ceramic coating allows you to maintain all of your architectural features. The decision to do vinyl will leave your home looking like a plastic moldy box. With Rhino Shield, in 15 years, your home will still have that, wow, it looks like you just got it painted. We've done large condo complexes, parking garages, pole barns, and commercial strip malls. We coat sloped and flat roofs to extend their lives too. Evaluations are free. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
No paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Stewart's American Mortgage and the Bagel Loan. I want you to give them a call at 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. Talk to him about mortgages. Kind of sounds boring, doesn't it, on the surface? You kind of know, like, if you get a much lower rate on your mortgage and you're saving all that money monthly, that's really exciting. And it's a phone call away. Right now, a mortgage refinance, as rates have come down from their high highs. They might go down in the future, but if you're ready to have that conversation and learn more about the Bagel Loan, which means no dollars in closing costs when you go to do that mortgage loan refinance, which could include as well a cash out. You got some major equity in your home. Maybe you want to take that cash out and get a lower rate than you have right now. You can do all that at once. Just call Stewie at 314-324-4440. That's 314-324-4440. And tell Stewie that Annie sent you. You can Google the Bagel Loan to find out all the information that you need in addition to what I've said. I'm a 2-time customer myself. I think you'll be glad you did. NMLS number 226715.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898. 800-700-6898 or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
High stakes in Alaska. I'm Lisa Brady. President Trump just arriving in Anchorage for a summit on Ukraine with Russia's President Putin, telling reporters on the way there he's trying to save lives.
I want to see a ceasefire rapidly. I don't know if it's going to be today, but I'm not going to be happy if it's not today. Everyone said it can't be today, but I'm just saying I want the killing to stop. I'm in this to stop the killing.
The White House just confirming he will be joined by Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Special Envoy Steve Witkoff for the meeting, with other top U.S. officials joining a later lunch meeting, including the defense chief, Treasury and Commerce secretaries. President Trump warning of severe economic consequences if there's no progress with Russia. But there may also be economic benefits as part of any potential deal.
If you look at the map of what the areas Russia controls inside Ukraine, Russia controls the territory where almost all of the rare earth minerals sit in Ukraine. Now, in April, the U.S. entered into a joint partnership with Ukraine where profits from rare earth mining and other energy-related infrastructure projects get split 50-50 between Ukraine and the U.S.
Fox Business's Edward Lawrence at the White House. The president telling reporters today any deal over land swaps that include rare earth mining would have to be made with Ukraine's President Zelensky, who today called out continued Russian attacks ahead of the summit. Russia's president also just landing in Anchorage minutes ago. President Trump had remained on Air Force One temporarily exchanging greetings with several U.S. senators. We're just getting word the mayor of New Orleans is indicted by a federal grand jury after a long-running corruption investigation. No confirmation of specific charges yet, though, but an attorney for Mayor LaToya Cantrell says an indictment was returned. The term-limited mayor who's scheduled to leave office in January has said she's been unfairly targeted. America is listening to Fox News.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
August is doing its thing once again as a southerly flow opens up. It's sunny hot with building humidity this afternoon. You know, it's St. Louis this afternoon, 95 for the high. Tonight, mostly clear, evening temperatures in the 90s, 75 for the low. Saturday, sunny, hot, and humid 97, 77 Saturday night. Sunday, sunny, hot, and humid 98. This heat goes right through Tuesday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
You've heard me talking about hormone replacement therapy with Infinite Vitality in Glen Carbon, and I'm here to tell you that this has changed my life. Real client myself of Infinite Vitality. I had a panel done and was able to check my thyroid levels, check my testosterone levels, and I'm now working with the therapies that they are providing me to make sure that I get them up where they're supposed to be. Infinite-vitality.com. Infinite-vitality.com. Reach out to them. They're in Glen Carbon, and I know for you folks on the Illinois side, you know how easy it is to get there. For the folks on the Missouri side, it's just off 270. It's really simple to get to, and if your life change is at the other end of that ride, this is really worth your time to put yourself in the hands of people you can trust. to help you get solutions to the brain fog, the plunging energy, the loss of libido, I'm staying up all night because I can't fall asleep and I'm tired in the morning and throughout the entire day. You don't have to age this way and just accept it. I'm so glad that I met with the people at Infinite Vitality and chose not to accept it myself. Look into it and trust the people at Infinite Vitality. I'm so glad that I did. Infinite-vitality.com.
The Annie Fry Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 56 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance and installation, and heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. AirComfortService.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
They got someone here knows what they're talking about.
Left up, left right, gotta love this American ride.
Like, you need to take some time to get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid, keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Fry Show.
It is the Annie Fry Show, and I'm glad you're here with us on a Friday afternoon. Do you have big plans this weekend, Ryan?
I have so few plans that I looked at my schedule and thought maybe my wife forgot to fill
That
it
you
in.
screwed it up?
Yeah, because we have almost nothing. It's great.
There's nothing like nothing.
Here's the thing, though. Because of the season that we're all headed into, this is probably the last
Christmas?
nothing weekend that we're going to see for 4 months. And then Christmas. Are you looking forward to Christmas already? Are you looking forward to Halloween at all?
Yeah, it's fun on the way past it.
Are you okay with there being Christmas decorations out now?
I'm never mad at Christmas decorations.
I don't like them this early. I don't like Halloween this early.
Do people have decorations out on their house, or are you just talking about in the stores?
In the stores. Drives me crazy. I'm like, look, it's 95 degrees out.
Why does it? But if you buy stuff at the store, it doesn't mean it's going up immediately at your house.
I'm just reminded in the aisle at Walgreens and Walmart, that's the seasonal aisle. Once you get past,
they don't have
back to school
Christmas stuff up in Walgreens yet, though, do they?
No, but they do have Halloween stuff. It was instant. It was all orange and yellow and pumpkins, and I'm like, dude, I'm not ready for this. It's too hot. It's just too hot for it. I get that you don't have anything between now and then, so you're just going to fill it up. But it just drives me crazy for some reason.
What? You don't have anything between
Yeah, there's no
what?
other holiday stuff to put up between now and Halloween. Like they're not going to put Labor Day decorations in there.
No, you put fall stuff up.
I mean, that's kind of what it is.
Our
It's
house,
just got
our
pumpkins.
August, September, October, November is shifts of adding fall into the home. And then you get to mid-September, late September, the ghosts and the pumpkins and the jack-o'-lanterns come out. And then after Halloween, the jack-o'-lanterns come down, but the pumpkins stay up. And then, I'm just going to be honest, the first free weekend I have, Christmas decorations go up. It's not unusual for us to have Christmas decorations up at Thanksgiving dinner.
Do you put up Halloween anything?
Yeah, I
You-
love.
So
I
you
have a-
you have fall stuff though. It's
No,
not like
I'm-
Halloween specific.
No, I have a big light-up sign that says "Boo," and I have a lot of ghosts and jack-o'-lanterns.
Okay, but do you take them down on November 1st?
I just said that I did.
Okay, I'm just
Do
making
you,
sure.
do you listen to the show?
Well, I didn't know if you just put up the next ones whenever you could, or you took those down immediately.
I just said that as soon as Halloween is over, I take down the jack-o'-lanterns, but the pumpkins stay out. So yes, the Halloween stuff comes down after Halloween is over, but the fall stuff can stay out until, yes, probably Thanksgiving, but maybe not if my schedule is going to be tight.
I'm being really grumpy here in saying this,
Mhm.
but if I see Halloween decorations past the first week of November, I'm already mad at you.
Why do you care?
I don't know what it is about the seasonal
you-
stuff. It drives me crazy.
Can we pull the curtain back a little bit here? Are you just doing this for the air? Do you actually have a negative, like a
Yes.
visceral emotion
I have real emotions, positive and negative, to the seasonal stuff.
when somebody else who you don't know has a jack-o'-lantern sitting on their porch and it's November 8th. And you're like moved by that.
The smaller it is, the less important it is. But when I still see a giant 15-foot tall skeleton that's got red eyes on Thanksgiving, I'm like, dude, you have abdicated your responsibility to society. You need to take that down.
You sound like Putin. That's something Vladimir Putin would say.
If I do,
and if you
then
didn't
he's
do
got
it,
good English.
he'd kill you.
Yep.
Send you to the front lines.
Kind of power I want.
Jack-o'-lanterns, mid-November? Nope. Not here. Not in Collinsville.
Yeah, unfortunately, though, that makes everybody decorate less.
And don't you want more?
I do. I like the decorations. I just want people to be responsible.
It would be freeing to let go of your concern about what other people have up for decorations.
I can't.
Okay. Something to work on. We're watching right now at Joint Base Elmendorf, Anchorage, Alaska. And this is really quite something. Look at the smiles on these two very, very powerful men's faces. Ooh, a double thumbs up from Vladimir Putin and a handshake. There are two planes parked there on the tarmac, stairs, walking down, of course, from the airplanes, and red carpets, one lined from the Air Force One and another lined at a 90-degree angle, no less, from Vladimir Putin's plane. I wonder what that's called.
Why does this look so iconic?
It's iconic because Donald Trump produced this.
I guess so.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. So you have the two of them. They walked simultaneously off of the airplanes. So it's like an apprentice entrance.
It's crazy. What
right?
you're watching right now will be B-roll for another 20 years.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and of course, because he's the best president this country's ever had. We don't know how it's going to end, according to your words. And that matters.
We don't.
But we're watching as they are walking at a 90-degree angle towards one another down red carpets. And as I was waiting for them to do the Dirty Dancing lift. Now that would be iconic.
Yeah, especially if it was Putin lifting Trump.
That's so funny because Trump is would you say 6 inches taller than him?
Yeah. Putin's not short.
Putin is short.
He is? I thought he was at least...
He's probably taller than you.
5'12".
5'12". What's the matter with you? Can you find out how tall Putin is, Brad?
I'll look it up.
So Putin is walking, like I said, at this 90-degree angle. They're walking towards each other. And Putin's doing his Putin walk, and he sees Trump. He gets this huge smile on his face, pops 2 thumbs up, and Donald Trump's like, hey, my buddy, my man. And Hillary's like, see? No.
And there was a handshake where both of them were smiling.
Yeah.
And then there was the old Trump two-handed shake momentarily.
As they were walking together right before the handshake, Vladimir Putin had a big old right hand reached out to go in for the handshake, anticipating, I'm going to start this handshake, and his hand was up on the top, which I think is probably a power move.
Yeah.
But going in, so Vladimir Putin comes in with the right hand on the top to shake the hand, and Trump's like, I got a left hand that's going on the top. And then they did the hand thing where they just kept placing hands on top of each other, still doing it on
and
the
then
tarmac.
they're each touching each other's shoulder, with the other hand. Oh, yes, I'm in control. I'm in control. No, they looked like they were actually...
That last part I made up. They're not doing that pancake thing with the hands.
5'7". You're right.
Told you.
I didn't know he was that short.
I actually was looking at his shoes because I've seen him in situations where he will do things to make himself look taller. I'm sure he's wearing lifts. But that's a very, very, very common thing for people to engage in. So now they're in this fancy limo, and they'll go have a chat.
What if they get out of the limo and they're like, we did it.
We're good.
Right now.
I would say that upon just the visual of what we took in, that looks very cordial.
Looks positive.
They looked happy to see one another. And they're very, very aware of the impact of it. Wouldn't it be funny if Donald Trump was driving that car?
Get in the back.
Putin is he's in the lady seat.
You know what's funny? There's another time. It's the only other time I can remember on this show. No, it's not. It's 2. There's 2. This would be the 3rd. That I've watched live coverage of a news event and thought, we're going to see that forever. That was one of them just now. The other ones were with you live. We covered Trump walking in to get his mugshot. And we thought, we'll see this forever. Because it was only a real short little bit of time of him walking in to get that. And we thought this will be played on loop. And it was, but only for a short period of time. And the other one, January 6th.
Which we covered during COVID.
Yeah,
It was
we did.
in my basement studio.
Were we still?
Oh, heck yes.
On January 6th? I guess we were.
Yes.
But I remember watching that live.
Unless you were
on
here.
the air. I might have been. I feel like I was here.
I was at home. All right. Well, let's take a break. We're going to watch and follow every minute. Please consider hiring Matt Hayes for the leveling of your concrete, the evening out, the making it safe again. Yeah, you need Matt Hayes to do that, to come out to your home and look at what you're dealing with, and he'll give you the cost-effective solution that you've been looking for. He'll use polyjacking, takes a polyurethane foam, injects it underneath the concrete and raises it up and levels it out almost like brand new. And it comes with a 5-year warranty. This is an easy solution that you can use to implement, way less disruptive than ripping out of that old concrete and replacing it. That's going to be a pretty penny. Sinking concrete can lead to trips and falls and structural concerns as well. If you've got those cracks in your garage, you want to make sure that the problem isn't about to rapidly become much bigger. Have Matt Hayes of Home Shield Foundation Repair out to your home to give the situation a look and tell you what he can do. 314-227-9636, HomeShieldFoundationRepairs.com.
It's the greatest pop rock of the 60s and 70s. The Happy Together Tour 2025 with the Turtles, Jay and the Americans, Little Anthony, Gary Puckett and the Union Gap, the Vogues, and the Cowsills. This Thursday night, the Family Arena. Reserve seats on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture box office located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster.
Get ready for BTO live in concert. Bachman Turner Overdrive with special guests April Wine and Zebra. Roll on down the Highway 2025 tour. Saturday, August 30th, the Family Arena, a night of vintage BTO. Tickets on sale now at the Carroll House Furniture box office, located at the Family Arena or Ticketmaster. Don't miss Bachman Turner Overdrive.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
If you want thick, healthy, gorgeous hair, then you need Hair Volume from New Nordic. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy, Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
With conviction and clarity, The Annie Fry Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
So we just talked about how President Trump and Vladimir Putin, President Putin, have just deboarded their planes. And I can't help but notice Donald Trump had to walk 20 yards, 30 yards to get to his red carpet. Vladimir Putin's red carpet started at his plane. Concessions are being made already.
Wow. This is a power play.
Yeah. Donald Trump gets to the bottom of the stairs from his plane and does the Donald Trump coat flip, grabs the bottom of his coat and pops it. He doesn't button it. He just pops it. He's very good at that.
Yeah.
He's very short. I know you guys were talking about
Vladimir
that just
Putin,
a second ago.
5'7".
Those two next to each other.
I did not think
little guy.
He was that short.
Yeah, he's tiny.
I mean, not that 5'7's crazy short, but it's compared to Trump.
It's extremely short,
Yeah.
Ryan.
When Ryan stands tall, he strives.
I'm 5'9.5".
Minus 2.5 inches.
Nobody who's tall uses halves.
I got to stretch to
Just
5'10" sounds big, so I'm like, oh man, I'm really close.
It's the equivalent of when you're
5'10"
little.
sounds big.
5'10" sounds like you could never make fun of that guy for being short. So I'm so close to it.
It's the equivalent of
I'm
being like 7 years old and using half years. That's
Yeah.
basically the same.
Or
I'm
if
not
you're
arguing with
59 and a half or older, you can do some transitions with your retirement.
Mm-hmm.
RetirementKey.com.
Cha-ching.
We're watching to see any news that might develop here in the course of the next 40 minutes here with our show. If anything develops with President Trump and President Putin as they meet in Alaska on this historic event. Ryan was talking about the iconic nature of the image of them walking down the red carpet. We will break into our coverage of very important things like next question, which we will do as soon as it goes.
Next question.
Question.
It's a legitimate question.
Next question.
Next question, please.
Next question on The Annie Fry Show.
Ryan, you go first.
Getting ready to go back into school.
Yeah.
What was your worst grade of school?
7th grade. Easily.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah. Hated it.
Did the girls bully you too?
I don't remember them doing that, but it's very possible that they did.
You wouldn't notice. Why was 7th grade bad for you?
It was terrible because you go from being a big fish in a little pond, or even a little fish in a little pond,
So was
to
junior high?
junior high. And it is not just, it's the age and the mix of all these kids trying to make a place for themselves. And it's the only age, 8th and maybe 9th grade, or 7th and 8th grade, where the bullies really kind of ruled. Because by the time you get a little older, people start to realize, oh, those guys are idiots.
Yeah. You don't give them the credit
Yeah.
to do the things that they want to do.
Yeah.
Were you bullied?
I don't know that I'd say bullied. I mean, by today's definition of yes, everybody's bullied by today's definition.
No, I
But
mean, like, were you really bullied? Did you feel like you were
I
bullied?
didn't like have a bully or anything. It was just everybody's a 13-year-old boy and just fighting constantly.
Really?
But not really fighting. Just kind of like adrenaline.
Everybody's jockeying.
Yes.
For what?
I'm not sure, but it was awful. I hated it. But it did help me develop a sharper wit. It was the only defense I had for a couple years, and then everything evened back out.
I 7th grade was terrible for me. I was super bullied and isolated, like intentionally isolated. I was told when I was being isolated. They would let me know.
That's terrible.
It's terrible.
So you were bullied.
Without a doubt, bullied.
Bullying looks different for boys
And my daughter, hardcore bullied in 7th grade. She has just gone through all of this. It's been ridiculous.
It's the age as much as anything.
I think it is. Like, I think it's something you just have to endure. The question I have, though, is, like, when parents know that their kids are bullying, what's the matter with you?
Yeah.
In this day and age, what's the matter with you? And 7th grade, everybody I talk to, everybody feels like they're on the other end of that. You know, like, I don't think that you can get out of it. And so how much of the actual bullying is taking place in your head?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how much of it are you seeing, but it's not really, like, the actions that are being taken aren't intentional? Maybe people aren't going out of their way to be nice, but maybe it hurts a little extra because you've got an exposed nerve or something like that. But, like, when it does cross over to the extra bullying thing, where are the parents? Why are you okay with it? And it's either they're completely absent or they're bullies themselves.
Or they're hearing everything through the lens of their own kid.
Yeah, but at
and they
some
don't really
point,
know.
when other people are telling you that your kids are being bullies and you're still ignoring it, now I'm like, well, now I get your kid.
Yeah.
I just was commenting with somebody on, I don't know, have no idea who they were, on X last night, and they were talking about how moms feel their kids' pain in a way that dads just don't. Like, it's just different. Like, the way a mom will internalize something that their child's going through emotionally, like holding an emotional burden, it's just different. And I wrote to I don't know who it was. I said to this guy, I'm like, is there a bully situation? And he was like, sort of. I think we all have these stories. What about you? Worst grade?
6th grade was the worst for me. The second day of school, walking to the bus stop, about halfway there, stopped in my tracks, and it was the first time that I had a panic attack and just remember feeling straight anxiety. Ran back home in tears, and from that day, I mean, going to bed at night, like waking up in the morning, it was just tears out of fear. I don't know where it came from, and I dealt with it for probably 2 to 3 months. The rest of that school year, finally felt like I got into a routine, and then it returned for the start of 7th grade. And it was a little bit shorter. And then it returned for the start of 8th grade. It was a little bit shorter.
Was it an anxiety thing that you had, and that was the circumstance you're in, or did something cause you to have?
And I always got picked on at school, and that was hard, but that didn't, like, go away, you know, at the beginning or, you know, halfway through the school year. That was always there. I really don't. I think part of it was you grow so comfortable, right? And then all of a sudden there's massive change. Middle school is huge change. It's huge insecurities,
but 6th
right?
grade was middle school for you?
Middle school started in 6th grade.
So it's really the
for
same
me.
thing for you, Ryan, as a 7th grader. Brad, what about you?
It was, I would say, every year of high school. Starting from my first day of my freshman year till the day that I got my diploma. I didn't even walk in my graduation. The day that I got my diploma. And it was anything from bullying to struggles in class. I struggled with, I played baseball, and like kids on my baseball team would throw my cleats behind bushes and stuff and hide them because we weren't allowed to wear them in whenever we would go make
Why'd
the
they
phone
pick
calls.
on you? Just because people
Just
picked
because
on you?
it's people get into that mindset about somebody and they're like, that one's squishy, we'll go after him. And I mean squishy in a way that they knew that it could hurt me. And so I just, that's what I dealt with my entire high school career. Part of it was it's a small school, so I moved to that town in the middle of my 8th grade year. So you guys were talking about 7th grade and getting into that. I had going into middle school and then going into a new middle school in a small town where it's like if you weren't from one of these 3 towns, they weren't interested in talking to you or letting you in or anything like that. So I was perpetually on the outside. Played baseball, had a 600 batting average my sophomore year. My junior year, the coach says, hey, why don't you not try out for baseball this year? We got some other people we want to look at.
Wow.
Yeah, dude, it was brutal. And then my senior year, I went to a different school that was a vocational school. It got a little bit better there, and then, graduated and got done and just got out of it.
Do you have any friends from that time?
That I still talk to? No, I don't. I haven't seen anybody that I know from that time.
School sucks. The social stuff sucks. I don't know that it's harder now. A lot of people will say that it's harder now with social media
It's in
stuff.
a different way.
It's different. And it's hard to parent knowing that it was not easy when we were going through it. I mean, my husband has his same stories too. There were times where both of us stood up for our morals and our principles, And I always go back and think it was probably super, like, people probably thought we were, like, super self-righteous about stuff. And, you know, I can kind of put in the context of we decided we weren't going to do something. Other people felt judged by that, whatever. But he and I both have very similar high school situations where we kind of did the same thing. We were at different high schools. We did not know each other. And it kind of isolates you to an extent. You know, I have a small group of friends or whatever, but it's just difficult. Like, I think everybody has that experience. Even bullies. And I can think about a whole bunch of bullies that I've been at the other end of or that I've seen bully other people. They're never happy people. They're never people who, it's not like you see the bully. If you pay attention to them, they're not people who you'd really rather be.
Old pastor always said, hurting people hurt people.
Yes. Amen to that. That's exactly right. Good question. Way to start it out. And we took up the whole segment doing that. We're going to take a quick break. We'll do more next question, Ask Us Anything, when we come back. We're continuing to monitor President Trump and President Putin in Alaska as they discuss the potential of a ceasefire and maybe the end of a war that has gone on for years now. You're in the right place here on 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative. Don't go away. The Retirement Advisory Group is online at retirementkey.com. I want you to think about them as your retirement coaches when you get towards that finish line, or at least you're hoping you're towards that finish line. 59 and a half years or older, that's a magic age to turn. And at retirementkey.com, you're going to be able to learn everything you need to know about planning for yourself that worry-free retirement in the transition phase. Bob and Tammy Kershaw can help you get to that point where you're like, gosh, this peace of mind, this is great. I can't wait. I know exactly what I need to do. They'll teach you how to protect your nest egg so you don't have to worry about market downturns. They will make you feel comfortable in your plan and help you create a personalized, structured income plan. The Retirement Advisory Group is available for a free conversation. You can sit down, make an appointment at 314-993-9494. That's 314-993-9494. Call them and tell them Annie sent you, and you'll have a free sit-down conversation. And after the fact, you can determine, yeah, I want to hire these people. More details at retirementkey.com.
You want to retire soon, but everyone keeps telling you to wait until you're 65. After all, that's the age that you qualify for Medicare and you're close to full retirement age. I'm Marvin Mitchell, president of Compass Retirement Solutions. In my new book, Retire Early, The 9 Critical Decisions When Retiring Before 65, I discuss proper planning to help make early retirement possible. When to take Social Security, what to do with your 401k, health care, how to maximize retirement income, and much more. Get a complimentary copy of Retire Early by calling 1-800-743-8510. That's 1-800-743-8510. Can you retire early? Call 1-800-743-8510 for your copy of Retire Early, the 9 critical decisions when retiring before 65.
Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory in Missouri and Illinois. Compass Retirement Solutions is not affiliated with the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
College holds a mythic place in American culture, but there are stories you won't hear on the campus tours.
The higher-ups are concerned about one thing, and that is avoiding scandal.
I'm Margot Gray. On the new podcast, Campus Files, we cover everything from rigged admissions to the drama of Greek life and student protests. Listen to and follow Campus Files, an Odyssey original podcast. Available now on the free Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
When's the last time you gave your home's exterior a little love? Hi, it's Kim, and if your siding is cracking, it's fading, or just doesn't stand up to our St. Louis weather, it's time to call Lakeside Renovation and Design because they're experts in James Hardy siding, which is this durable, low-maintenance option, and it looks beautiful. Plus, you have customizable colors and textures, and so you can give your home a completely new look while protecting it for decades. Don't wait until the small problems turn into big ones. Visit lakesidearty.com to schedule your free consultation.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
When it comes to affordable term life insurance, everyone's whistling the Big Lou tune. If you're over 50, maybe a bit porky, or have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost about $200 a month. Even if you're not in perfect health, call Big Lou, because he specializes in finding big chunks of affordable term life insurance for just about everyone. Don't let diabetes or other health glitches keep you from owning $500,000 to $1 million or more of term life insurance. For affordable term life insurance, call Big Lou. Don't hesitate. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or visit biglou.com.
Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Call Big Lou, don't hesitate. 800-700-6898. Visit biglou.com.
It's Tom Ackerman for Ophthalmology Associates, the doctor's doctors, 314-966-5000, or online at youridoc.com.
Well, do you want to win tickets to see Rascal Flatts? Then you're going to have to wait another few minutes because we're going to do it in the next segment. That's coming soon. They're coming on January 17th. But we have one more pair to give away, one more pair of tickets. Stick around. We'll do that very soon. 2:35. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Cutting through the spin. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
She just wants to be beautiful. She goes unnoticed. She knows no limits. She craves attention. She praises an image she prays to be sculpted by the sculptor. Oh, she don't see the light that's shining deeper than the eyes can find it. Maybe we're made of blind.
All right, we're
souls.
watching and waiting to see when the President Trump, President Putin meeting taking place right now in Anchorage, Alaska at, was it Elmdorf? Did I get that right? Air Force Base?
I don't know. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, but we're waiting to see what transpires here, and we will bring you the latest news as it is released to us. We will certainly bring it to you, and so keep it here. And Mark Reardon, of course, coming in next. Any sort of breaking news that happens, he will make sure that you're up to speed. So you're in the right place here at 97.1 FM Talk. It's great to be a Fox News Radio affiliate here in St. Louis on days like this. And we'll keep you informed as information happens. It is Friday afternoon, though, so we're going to do a little more Ask Us Anything here. Brad, I'm going to tee you up here. What is your next question?
Well, let's go a little bit lighter with this one. What is the something that is like seemingly insignificant that can bring you some comfort? And I'm not talking about like
ice cream.
There you go.
Well, I was going to say ice cream.
Do we have ice cream here?
There is some here.
But it's, oh, what should I do?
It's
oh, dearest dear.
It's somebody, they offered to let us try some of their ice cream sandwiches. And they were supposed to deliver them at 2 o'clock. We haven't tasted them yet, though.
They have been delivered. But the person who knows where they are is not in the room right now.
Oh, no.
I'm sure they're in a freezer. We've got to.
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't know that there's
Just
like
not
a
sure where
hide
they're at
and
out
seek
there.
situation.
Are they on the roof?
In the weather center?
Which freezer?
If you pick wrong, you can't have one.
I hate to break it to you, but the ice cream sandwiches are called Sugar Witch. So
that sounds fantastic.
I know. We don't know if they're good, though. We haven't tried them yet.
What are the chances we bite into one of those and go, ew?
I don't know. They wanted us to
I
try
think it's about
them,
0.
and we said, we'll try your ice cream. We
Yes,
get to
we
give
will.
a fair review, but they're called Sugar Witch. What brings you?
Are they local?
What brings you comfort? Little thing, he said.
Man, it's that stuff. I mean, it really is.
Sweets?
It's sweets. I
Does
daydream
it actually
about 'em.
make you feel happy?
Yes. Although I physically feel a little bit worse on the weekends when I'm eating sugar again. So it's weird because I look forward to getting to the weekend because I'm doing this diet where I don't eat any added sugar during the week.
He doesn't eat any added sugar that he knows of.
That I know of. Sometimes I'm blind to it.
But if he eats something and it has added sugar and he doesn't look at the nutrition label, then it's not there. This is not the added sugar that you're looking for.
Is there any in a McGriddles? I don't know.
Probably not. It's not like they put it on the top.
It doesn't matter because I don't know. But I eat no added sugar during the week. So I look forward to the weekend all week because I'm like, oh, this is going to be great. But then I get into the weekend and I go, oh, I'm looking forward to the week again because I'll feel better.
What about you, Brad?
For me, it's Legos.
Sweet.
I have found this is a recent development in my life, probably in the last 3 months or whatever. But it doesn't make me like feel good and excited or stuff like what Ryan's, but just peace and calm. And it's like, okay, I can shut everything else out, all the other noise, and just kind of focus on what I'm doing. And at the end, I've made something really cool, which is really neat. Like the ability to create something cool is one of the things in my life that I really, really like.
How did you word that question?
What is something seemingly insignificant that brings you comfort?
I will add to that.
Is this about sugar?
No, it's not. Whenever I have a vacation planned, it is such a source of joy.
You're a jerk.
The vacation itself
You're a jerk.
is a lot of fun, but it's the between now and then.
You're a jerk.
That I love it. Why?
Mine was going to be planning vacations.
Did you? That's ridiculous.
What a scoop.
Gary Budd. Well, how about this one? I love my children who are Charlie, Evelyn, and
He
Molly.
said that's why I asked him to restate the question because I wanted to talk about something that was insignificant. My children are the most significant thing in my life. Because I was going to say that brings me joy is the Molly running to me going, Mommy. But that's not insignificant. You know what is insignificant? Watching YouTube videos about places I want to travel.
Yeah, that's insignificant.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks for just taking it right out of the wind out of the sails.
You know what's
buddy?
been cracking me up lately? Thinking about some moment on this show when you guys were talking about our kids, and I refer to my kids as Gabbard and Hegseth.
What?
Like, I'm such.
I don't even remember that.
I haven't done it. I was just waiting for the moment when, like, I would be so MAGA that my kids were named Gabbard and Hegseth.
Here's my question to you in our next question segment. The next question is, while our YouTube poll is who is the best American president ever, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, Donald Trump, or someone else, how likely do you think in 20 years from now that Donald Trump is loved really in a universal way like Ronald Reagan was?
Ooh.
I think it's likely.
I would say it's likely, too. I don't know that there are segments of our population that could ever get there. But
no, but I think
overall,
they're going to look. Aren't they going to look absolutely ridiculous if Donald Trump continues to win the way he has? He's done some remarkable things. The people who hate him for the sake of breathing, aren't they going to look absolutely ridiculous?
There were a lot of people, I think, even going into 2024, who looked back at the first term and said, "Yeah, it felt chaotic when we were in it, but I look back on the results and I'm like."
Stability.
What am I missing? Maybe I was part of the problem, you know?
Have you heard Ronald Reagan talking about protesters and how they're shrieking, and when he talks about Democrats and everything? There are so many similarities that we don't really. We were all alive during Reagan's presidency in this room, but we don't remember Reagan's presidency. We probably remember our parents talking about Reagan. Ronald Reagan. Even when you say the name, you like pause with reverence over the name of President Reagan. I'm sure that Ronald Reagan's successes in the moment made some people's skin crawl because he was so successful at implementing conservatism in a lot of functional ways that, of course, the people who hated his politics, that their skin would crawl. I'm just wondering if we will talk about Donald Trump the way our parents talked about Ronald Reagan.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
I'm almost guaranteeing that we will.
You think so, Brad?
Oh, yeah, I think so. And like Ryan was saying, there are people that'll never get over it. It's the same kind of people that never got over Reagan. There are people out there that still...
It's got to be worse, though, doesn't it?
I don't know, because there are people out there that still cringe, like, I don't know, Reagan's so good. And it's like, I see what kind of person you are. No, it'll be 100% exactly
Ryan
the same.
hates Donald Trump.
Yeah, it'll be 100% the exact same as the way it was for Reagan as it is for Trump.
What Andy just said is not true. My son, Hegseth, would tell you otherwise.
You're so weird. Next question,
My
Ryan.
daughter, Gabbard.
You should switch him.
No, having a son named Hegseth is the most bro thing you could possibly do.
Hey, they're showing right now. They're showing right now on Fox News a 2-podium stage with chairs in front, which you would assume that the press would likely be seated at. So the possibility of President Trump and President Putin coming out to a joint press conference would be a very positive thing. I can't imagine if they disagree and can't come to some sort of conclusion that they're going to take that stage. So if somebody walks up and removes one of those podiums, we'll know.
And I can also guarantee
but it's
you
set,
that
a table set for 2 right now.
by tomorrow, there will be AI of them walking out and fighting. Somebody will make that video.
Ryan.
Next question. We're nearing the end of summer. Ice cream or custard?
Custard. No doubt.
Ice cream or frozen custard?
I think I'd go frozen custard. I'm not exactly 100% sure of the difference, but I think the frozen custard just sounds more decadent. So I would like that.
It's creamier, thicker.
Yeah, I would like that.
It has all the things that I should like more about
You're
it.
going to say ice cream, aren't you?
I still think I
like
ice cream.
Is that all you're thinking about right now is ice cream?
Kinda. But no, that one was written down.
Are you sad?
Well, I'm sad that it's not in my mouth.
Next question.
I'm happy
Brad.
that it's
I
Friday.
got nowhere to go with that.
Is there a movie that surprised you that you didn't expect to love and then you ended up liking it a whole lot?
Wicked.
Oh, man. You go, because I got to think about it.
Wonka.
So mine
you didn't
is.
think you'd like it?
No.
Mine's a throwback because I was real young. Is A League of Their Own. It's like there's nothing about that movie that says Brad should like it, but I really like that movie.
Baseball?
Yeah. But I don't know. If it's on, I will stop whatever I'm doing and watch it. And I think a big part of that is John Lovett's character.
Hey, cowgirls, see the grass, don't eat it. Moulin Rouge is definitely up there on that for me. I went to see Moulin Rouge in the theater and was so mad at that movie that I wanted to leave, but I was with my friend Stacy at the time seeing it. And it's my all-time favorite movie ever. And I thought we were just going to see a movie. I didn't know that it was a musical, that it was like a Baz Luhrmann artsy-fartsy type of production. And they're breaking out into songs by the Beatles and U2, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. That's not what these songs wouldn't have been there in turn of the century France. But I didn't know. And I hated it. I was so mad at it. And then something happened, and it is my favorite movie ever. The movies that I think I'm not going to like are often very artistic, probably musical presentations. I would say my favorite movies are Moulin Rouge, Wonka. Wicked is not of my favorite movies, but I watched it and I was like, that was really good. And The Greatest Showman is such a great movie. Love it. You can watch The Greatest Showman and Wonka with anybody at any time. Moulin Rouge, put that one on the shelf for at least 16.
Okay, here's a weird one. 2001: A Space Odyssey. That movie, I'd seen some clips of it, and I'm like, what in the world is this? With the chimpanzees at the beginning and the monolith,
I've never
and it's
seen
in
it.
space. And then I watched it when I got a little older, and I'm like, dang, that was a cool movie. I mean, Stanley Kubrick was fantastic, so he earned his reputation. And also Jurassic Park. All my friends were super excited about seeing it, and I was not a dinosaur kid. You know, you had dinosaur kids and non-dinosaur kids. I was a non.
Real quick, last question for me. Have you guys seen Roblox in the news?
Yes.
Roblox has an enormous amount of what is referred to as CSAM. There is a lot of very, very sexual content on Roblox. And Roblox is the #1 destination for games and fun online for kids. Chances are your kids or your grandkids are connected to or playing Roblox. And Louisiana is leading a charge suing Roblox. Roblox today, their stock has plummeted from where it was. And I wanted to talk about this more on the show, but I don't know how to talk about it on the show. Because I respect that a lot of you are listening maybe with little ears around. But you need to look into the Roblox story. My quick question to you guys is, should there be a legal age limit on when children can access the internet?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah. Yes.
Do you have an age in mind?
No, I don't.
Ooh.
I could be persuaded that it should be 13, but I could see parental supervision allowing it much earlier.
Brad?
I would say 14. And I think that's about when kids start high school.
You're talking about solo, right?
Just that they should be able to access the internet. Yes,
Yeah,
because you can't mandate parental supervision.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 14.
I'm with you on 13. It totally depends on the kids, and it has to be. We have to live in a culture where we let parents parent children. So you can't stick the government in the middle of that relationship and tell the government that they get to parent kids. But what the government absolutely should do is exactly what's going on in Louisiana, is checking the businesses and the products that are being served to kids that have child sexual content on them, and kids are being accessed through adults who are posing as children, and the sexual content is, oh my gosh, if your kid is on Roblox, I plead with you to get Roblox far, far, far away from your child. And if you want to learn more, get on X, do a search, look at Roblox today. It is not allowed in our household, and we've been very definitive about that with our kids. We're like, no, don't ask. It's not going to happen. There's nothing you can say to persuade us. I'm very glad that we did that. There are other places it can creep in as well, so you have to be diligent. But Louisiana and the government needs to put pressure on these companies and these products to make sure that they are not taking advantage of our children. And if there is an opportunity for people to take advantage of our children through these platforms, the companies should get raked over the coals for it. That's my answer to my own question. We got to go. We got to take a break. You got to give away tickets.
Yes, we do.
We'll be right back. Don't
Okay.
Girls don't cry after the face is made, but there's a hope that's waiting for you in the dark.
AirComfortService.com. Please consider reaching out to Air Comfort Service to help you with your HVAC system if you know that it's not working great, if it needs some maintenance done, if it needs work. Air Comfort Service can come out and help you learn what the actual deal is. But if you do have to replace it, Air Comfort Service, they have a great opportunity right now for you to do it in a more cost-effective way. I want to talk to you about the financing options. They offer free estimates and 0% financing for up to 72 months to make getting a new AC or HVAC system affordable. And when you have a full HVAC system installed, Air Comfort Service includes a free safety package. That includes a carbon monoxide detector. It's incredibly important to have that functioning in your house. An HVAC surge protector, water shutoff safety, and a high-efficiency filter cabinet. Reach out to Air Comfort Service at 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. Do not get stuck in the heat. Make sure you put yourself in the hands of people you can trust, and those people are at Air Comfort Service. AirComfortService.com.
Now is the time to call if you want to win free tickets to see Rascal Flatts. This is your last chance of the day on the Annie Fry Show. They are coming on January 17th. Here's the phone number, 314-241-9797. Be the 12th caller right now, and you will win tickets to the January 17th show, Rascal Flatts. 314-241-9797. Good luck.
Bold, unapologetic, unfiltered. The Mark Cox Morning Show is covering the issues that matter to you. From borders to school boards, Mark Cox is St. Louis conservative.
Are you nearing retirement and don't know if you have enough money saved to retire? That is scary. Do you have a written retirement financial plan in place? Well, when it comes to retirement planning, the trusted team at Financial and Tax Architects are the best. They've helped people all over St. Louis retire with confidence. And that's what you want. You want to retire with confidence. Now, they offer a one-night, 2.5-hour adult education class called Retirement Planning 101. They hold these at colleges over the St. Louis area and in Illinois. No cost, no obligation, just learning. And at this class, you learn how to avoid costly mistakes, how to maximize your income, how to reduce taxes in retirement. So call them today, 314-888-5101, or visit fta-ria.com and take the first step toward a smarter retirement. 314-888-5101.
Live, local, and conservative. It's the Annie Fry Show. 97.1 FM Talk.
Well, the time is now to get on to the Annie Fry YouTube live chat poll and tell us who you think is the best American president ever. I went with the three that Donald Trump says are up there for the best president ever. George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and Donald Trump. And then, of course, the fourth option is someone else. We've had a lot of votes for other people. Reagan, Grant, Coolidge, Truman, FDR, Eisenhower, Jackson, Taylor, Teddy Roosevelt. Any of those honorable mentions really stick out to either of you guys?
Well, my man Taft isn't on there.
Oh, stop it. What do you know about him?
Died in a bathtub.
That's what I know about him.
And he was part of the turn of the century three of the Teddy Roosevelt, Taft, and Wilson. What do they call those guys? Not the New Deal guys. Is that what they were? Something like that. Reagan should be on there for sure.
Yeah.
Coolidge, I think, is underrated.
That's a late breaking development amongst history peoples. Like his presidency was underrated.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And for you?
Reagan.
yeah, Reagan and Grant actually.
If I
sticks
were
out.
making this list of possible options just off of like who Annie thinks are the top three, Reagan would have been. And I'm going to be honest, it probably would have been Washington, Lincoln, and Reagan, or someone else.
So your vote in this
Abraham Lincoln.
is Abraham. It's not Trump.
No doubt. No, I think I need some time to figure it out.
Oh, do you? Oh, do you? Oh, it's been a nice show.
It's my show.
Somewhere around 12:05, I said Trump needs a little more time, and then it's been Ryan hates Trump.
Do you know what your problem was? You said it too early in the show.
That's my fault.
Yeah.
I accept responsibility.
You needed to wait to see where I was so you could determine if you were agreeing with me. But I couldn't just I couldn't just agree with you.
Ryan, what do you think about this topic? I don't know. I'd like to hear your opinion first so I know where mine is.
I don't know how you. I mean, if Donald Trump ends up being the second greatest president of the United States, second to Abraham Lincoln, you're still up there. And I think he is in the conversation of the greatest presidents ever. But I do want everyone to know that I had this thought first, but we do need a little more time.
Oh, did you? Do you think that based on what has already happened, he's already in the conversation, or what you still think is going to happen?
No, I think he saved the republic. I truly believe I think Donald Trump saved the republic, but so did Lincoln. And Lincoln, we have the time to look back and judge what he did. What Abraham Lincoln did was so incredibly against the grain. He fought against what everybody else was doing in slavery. He fought against an idea that had existed basically from the beginning of time. Slavery is very biblical. I'm sorry to break it to people who want to use this as your number one talking point. The United States of America did not invent slavery, but we killed ourselves over ending it. And it was under the wisdom of the man from Illinois, Abraham Lincoln, that actually took place. So I'm a Lincoln. Real quick, Brad, you?
Yeah, I'm with you on that, Lincoln. I always go back
See
and
how
forth.
I said that first and then he agreed with me?
Yep.
I'm Donald Trump.
Oh, man, we got 231 votes. 13% someone else, 18% Abraham Lincoln, 24% Washington, and 45% Donald Trump, who's shaking hands with Putin right now.
Attention St. Louis Medicaid residents in need of care at home. If you need assistance with daily activities, you can receive in-home care from a loved one that lives with you and they get paid. Through Medicaid, Freedom Care allows you to choose who provides your care at home in St. Louis, and they get paid weekly. Available to eligible Medicaid members in St. Louis. Call now to check your eligibility. It can be your daughter, son, a close relative, or trusted friend helping you with cooking, transportation, laundry, and other activities in your own home. You get the help you need, and your caregiver gets paid. Freedom Care has over 7,000 five-star Google reviews and is a leading choice in St. Louis for in-home care. If you have Medicaid and want to receive great care from a loved one, go to freedomcare.com, or for faster service, call 314-597-1749. 314-597-1749. That's 314-597-1749.
Michael's Flooring Outlet, you find them online at igotfloored.com. You can find them in person this weekend. Go shop and see what Michael's has to offer you in St. Charles County. Now, you go to Main Street. It's in Old Town St. Peters at Mid-Rivers and Highway 70. You can visit Michael's Flooring Outlet in West County on Olive Boulevard, 1 mile off 270 West. on Olive. And you can also check out Michael's Flooring Outlet in Dardine Prairie. Learn all about the locations where you can shop by going online to igotfloor.com. You can see all the different products that they have available there. You can peruse the different types of finishes if you're looking for, like, you kind of have an idea of what you're looking, but you're like, gosh, how can I achieve it? Technology and flooring, like the Techwood line of flooring, it's pretty amazing. You want to make sure that you connect with an expert who's going to be able to pair your budget with technology that's going to work for you, and you are definitely in the right place of Michael's Flooring Outlet when you're shopping for quality and value. Give them a visit this weekend in one of those 3 locations, or you can go online right now by visiting igotfloor.com.
Big news for gun owners. Mark Cox here for the Range St. Louis West. You know, the big, beautiful bill eliminates the $200 tax stamp on suppressors next January, but the Range is celebrating right now. They're holding a sweepstakes for a new suppressor at the Range. The Range will give you a $300 credit toward the new suppressor, and they'll pay for the tax stamp. Suppressors protect your hearing, and they improve your accuracy. Sign up to win at therangestl.com/971 before August 15th. Mark Cox here. Let me introduce you to my friends at the Lit Cigar Lounge in St. Louis, where luxury meets comfort. Premium hand-rolled cigars, an extensive selection of rare bourbons and whiskeys and craft cocktails. It's comfortable for non-smokers, too. They have a state-of-the-art ventilation system. They have private lockers and live music every Friday night, perfect for date nights or business meetings or just winding down. Visit litstl.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-500-5000.
That's 314-500-5000.
All on the free Odyssey app.
This is a Fox News alert. The summit begins. I'm Lisa Brady. President Trump greeting Russia's President Putin with a handshake after both arrived in Alaska to talk about ending the war in Ukraine. Red carpet on the tarmac, leading to a stage with a giant Alaska 2025 for photos before they shared a ride to their meeting. Fox's Brett Baer speaking with President Trump on the flight to Anchorage.
So if you were to paint a picture of what perfect looks like coming out of Alaska today, what does that look like in your mind?
Look, it's not for me to negotiate a deal for Ukraine, but I can certainly set the table to negotiate the deal. And our next meeting will have President Zelensky and President Putin and probably me.
That interview airs tonight, 6 Eastern on Fox News Channel. President Trump has said he hopes today's meeting would lead to a